The sun is set over Farrington Field, and the dawn of the playoffs is upon us. 6 weeks to crown 12 new champions, with thousands of kids dreaming of glory. Tonight, the opening round of the playoffs as Fort Worth Arlington Heights hosts Frisco Independence in the 5A Division II playoffs. Next on Friday Night Football. And with that, we welcome you to historic Farrington Field. Mike Leslie alongside former K-State and Lincoln High linebacker Heckma Harrison. And Heckma, these are two teams that struggled a year ago, both missed the playoffs, combined for 5 wins last year. This year, a combined 17-3. And for Fort Worth Arlington Heights, 9-1 and hosting a playoff game. There's an element of rarity for a Fort Worth ISD team to accomplish that. This is a special group.
No, it really is, and the perception is not reality with this Fort Worth Arlington Heights team. A lot of teams, when they get aligned in this district, they think that, look, this is going to be an easier way to get into the playoffs. Not so fast, says Fort Worth Arlington Heights, and they have assembled a team coming off of last year that has been very successful. They have won some key games. I can't wait to see these guys.
They upset Colleyville Heritage a few weeks back. That's what helped earn them the 2 seed and this home playoff game, and they were very excited to get one more game here at Farrington Field for their seniors. They do it, Heckma, primarily on the ground. A full 75% of their plays this season have been running plays. They like to get in your face, and they like to run the football a lot.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is they're not a balanced team. And what they like to do is run the ball. They play to their strength. They know what got them here, and it's that running game. They like to ground and pound you for 4 quarters. They wear you down. When I talk about the Colleyville Heritage game, if you just go back to that, there was a part in that game where it just looked like they had them. Colleyville Heritage had quit on their stool. And look, they're just a tough out. And obviously Frisco Independence is going to find that out today.
Meanwhile, for Frisco Independence, 8-2 on the year, coming out of a very deep and talented district in 3-5A Division II. Number 1 Argyle in that district, and then they battled all through the season with Lake Dallas and Frisco Emerson for playoff positioning. Wound up here as the 3 seed, but they're a talented football team that bounced back from a 3-7 season a year ago.
Well, they feel like they're battle-tested coming into this game. When you talk about the Argyles, the Lake Dallases, the Emersons, all of those teams are viable in the playoffs, and they're going to give a lot of teams problems. And so Frisco Independence,
Third down and a dozen here. It'll be Eric Orozco in shotgun. Third down and a dozen. Quick throw near side. Tamir Bisco on the receiving end. He's going to get knocked out of bounds.
Number 7, Bisco on the catch.
Yeah, we started in the open talking about the balance of this offense for the Yellow Jackets, and immediately you see these guys start out trying to get things going on the road, and here it is, a big fourth down, but they decide to punt.
As we just now do welcome our audience on the air here on Friday Night Football. We do appreciate you bearing with us there. We had some technical difficulties here at Farrington Field. The power went out on us right before kickoff, right in the middle of our broadcast open, as some of you may have seen. These two teams have exchanged punts. You haven't missed much, 2 3-and-outs, and it's Independence with the football first. Heckma Harrison, our audience, unfortunately missed our entire setup of this broadcast. These are two teams that both had difficulties last year, big bounce backs this year. Fort Worth Arlington Heights 9-1 to over the course of this season and hosting a playoff game tonight. Frankly, that is a rarity for a Fort Worth ISD school. These guys have had a special season.
No, they really have, and what they have done is they've responded to the coaching. I love that when we talk with their coach today.
Pressure, and down he goes, Mankin with the sack.
Yeah, and love talking to their coach about these guys and the team that he's building. Feels real good about this matchup today, but boy, I tell you, we've had a lot of things going on. So if you're joining us right now, just know there's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes to get on the air.
It was a process. There's no two ways about it. To have the power go out at, 6:57 for a 7 o'clock kickoff, knocked our entire system off the air, but we're up and rolling now. Is on 2nd down and 15, the handoff up the middle here for Uday Enyuribe. Enyuribe is a young man that, Heckma, we talked about in our open that never saw the light of day. Really talented kid, over 800 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns on the year. He is their bell cow.
No, he is. And Enyuribe, even on the first drive, you saw that they tried to get things started with him, get him warmed up, but the Yellow Jackets defense is keying off on him. And so this is a big third down, and boy, has Independence found themselves at third down pretty quickly in these 2 drives.
3rd down and 10. They were able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Motion man across the formation. Pressure on Quatrin once again. He's able to spin away, trying to run for it now. Breaks 1 tackle out across the 20-yard line, but only able to pick up maybe 3 or 4. And it's going to be 4th down and 7. Independence will have to punt it again.
And look at that. He has Lamont Montilla coming behind him, and that's a good job by Quatrin. Just spinning out of the pressure, but brings up 4th down, and they have to punt it again. Both of these teams are really at a stalemate right now, these first couple of drives.
So out comes the punt team for Frisco Independence. Matthew Goldman set to punt it away. Wobbly punt up the center of the football field, bounds across the midfield line, and falls dead at the 46-yard line, downed right there by Frisco Independence's McKendon Brown. And back comes this Arlington Heights offense, led by their quarterback Eric Orozco and their running back Brian Furch. Furch, Heckma, on the year, 1,444 rushing yards, 22 touchdowns in their big upset win over Colleyville Heritage that earned them this home playoff game and the number 2 seed in the playoffs. He had 278 yards and 3 touchdowns. This kid can go.
Yes, he can. And I'm telling you, we had a fantastic open that you missed. And we talked all about Furch. I called him a bull in the china shop. And a guy that you have to pay attention to is number 22. He has a violent running style. Everything about this kid is downhill.
And here he goes on 1st down and 10, but once again, nowhere to go. Heckma, in the early going, it's been the defenses that have really run this football game over the course of the first 4.5 minutes.
Well, it's also number 11, Chase Warren for Frisco Independence. Man, he is legit off of that edge. He is a guy that really sets the edge well for this defense. And I know for Brian Furch, he's an in-between the tackles kind of guy, but he can bounce it out as well. Does have top-end speed.
2nd down and 10. Arlington Heights runs a lot of the same plays, but out of very different formations, 30-plus different formations. Quick throw near side, complete in the hands of Anthony Lara. He's got the first down into Frisco Independence territory, and the first down of the day goes to the Yellow Jackets.
And how about this? In our open that you missed, we talked a lot about this Yellow Jackets team and how they are 99.9% running plays. And how about this? They scheme it up well, and they come out throwing the ball to pick up their first down.
At the 42-yard line in Independence territory, Orozco was set up for the play, now circles back to look to his offensive coordinator, Kai Kelm. Again, this is a team that runs the ball 75% of the time. They will here with Brandon Monroe trying to get the corner inside the 35 and run out of bounds. He'll be close to first down yardage on the carry there. Arlington Heights on the year, 37.5 points per game offensively. Meanwhile, for Frisco Independence, Tristan Cook, their defensive coordinator, he took over the job from Nick Stokes, who is their first-year head coach. It's a 3-3 stack defensive set, Hackma Harrison, and right now you can see an awful lot on the. It's a 3-3 stacked base. Right now they're mixing things up a little bit.
Yeah, all I see right now is about 6 men in the box, and you better do that if you're trying to get some stops against Monroe and Furch.
Deep ball though here for Bisco behind the defense. Yes, he did make that catch inside the 2-yard line. First and goal for Arlington Heights.
How about that? Eric Orozco comes out and he is throwing this thing, and Tamir Briscoe comes down with a miraculous catch at about the 2-yard line. Don't think we had that in the cards for this Yellow Jacket squad, that they'd come out airing it out.
It's interesting because that was something that Nick Stokes said to us. He said, listen, they run the ball a lot, but they can throw it. He said some of their big plays against Colleyville Heritage were through the air. That's a big one right there. Now here Orozco's going to keep it himself off the fake, lunging toward the goal line, held up just shy. It'll be second and goal.
Love that play fake by Eric Orozco. Fooled the entire defense, but just not enough to get across the goal line. That's a good job in the middle of the field for the Frisco Independence defense. This is a Frisco Independence defense that is really good. They have some playmakers up front. I just talked about Chase Warren. He is one of those guys, but also Colton Banks and Keith Rockwell, their linebackers.
At a pistol, here's the handoff for Furch, and he's got the corner easy. Touchdown, Arlington Heights, his 23rd of the year for Brian Furch.
He is a man amongst boys, and look at the size. They have him listed at 200 pounds. I doubt it. Okay, I doubt it. This kid looks like he's easy 215, 220. But man, I just love his running style. Talked to his coach, and he talked about the offers that he has. A bunch of D1, D2, and D3 offers. But he is definitely one of those guys that, as this game progresses, he is going to wear this Independence Knights defense down.
So here comes Alberto Chavoya for the extra point. The snap is bobbled, and he's going to try and pick it up and run with it. Nowhere to go. It will remain 6-0 as Chavoya taken down in the backfield off the muff snap. And 6-0 it will remain. We wondered where the power was tonight. Apparently it's with the Arlington Heights offense. 6-0 the start. Brian Furch finds the end zone midway through the first. Heights with the lead. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Hackma Harrison. Hackma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Back at Farrington Field, 6-0 our score in favor of the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets. Brian Furch with the 1-yard touchdown run, paying off the big play to Tamir Bisco, and it's 6-0 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. On the return here now, Arlington Heights came out of the pile with the football. What are they saying here? Was he down?
Yeah, it looks like it was Neely London, and there's also a flag on the play.
So it'll be an illegal block in the back against the return team here for Frisco Independence. Todd Denton, our referee tonight, leading a 7-man crew out of the Waco football chapter.
Yeah, a lot of the momentum right now on the Yellow Jacket squad side, and you can tell they are dancing around. The energy is all on this side of the ball, and Caden James is out there. These guys are loose, and you can tell that they're playing like it, getting that 6-0 lead. It's game on, and right now Frisco Independence has to respond.
Up the middle, the handoff here for Keith Rockwell. You'll see him come on the field a decent bit in place of Uday and Uribe. Also a key piece for them defensively as well. We do appreciate you bearing with us tonight. The power went out right before kickoff, and that has scrambled our systems just a little bit. So our director, Clay Marshall, is doing everything he can here to make sure that everything is situated and ready to roll. Handoff here for Uribe.
Man, what a shot that Uribe took from number 16. Golly, Chavola, the linebacker. This is how you get it done. If you're a linebacker in the middle of the field, man, he makes sure that that is something that you feel that. It's a great job by number 16.
3rd down and 5 after the hit by Chavoya. It's Uribe that dots the I. Play action fake, quick throw, far side, too tall for the intended target, Jake Simpson, and incomplete. It'll be 4th down once again. What a start for the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you're Frisco Independence and they're going with up tempo, you may want to slow down a bit because you go 3 and out really quick and you're going to get the ball back to a Yellow Jackets offense that really is finding some things over the top in the passing game.
So out comes the punt team once again with Goldman. Barely got that one away. Bounces at the 45-yard line and just falls dead right there, downed by Colton Banks. But it's going to be great field position here now for this Yellow Jackets offense. Already up 6-0 Heckma and looking for more.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's the great field position and the running game. And now on top of that, I'm sure Frisco Independence, as they've gone through their week, they plan for everything. But you come into this matchup and right away, the big play that you give up, you maybe have expected to be in the running game, but it's actually been in the passing game that you've given up the most amount of yards.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line in Independence territory. Do let us know if you're watching on the WFA YouTube channel, where you're tuning in from tonight, who you're tuning in to see. If you got a favorite player on one of these two teams, or if you're just a big fan of these two teams, let us know who's your pick tonight to move on in the first round of the UIL playoffs. Quick throw near side right through the hands of Anthony Lara and incomplete. He had space, Heckma.
No, he really did. They're doing a really good job of moving the pocket as well, and I'm loving this. Obviously, we wish that Phil Young would have given us a heads up on his plan tonight. Maybe we could have talked a little bit more about his passing game, but hey, he did not tilt his hand at all.
I imagine we'll probably see that balance out over the course of the night. But he did say, one thing he did say, we're not going to be able to just run. We got to be able to pass it a little bit just to loosen up their defense a little bit because they are going to stack the box, and we've seen a lot of that again here on this play as well as Monroe tries to fight his way for a couple. But it's tough sledding in there in the middle right now because they've got everybody in the box.
Yeah, and that's the challenge to your receivers because they are dealing with a lot of one-on-one coverage. And so with these cornerbacks backed off the way that they are, you expect for these guys to win those battles.
Michael Hall in the YouTube comments lets us know he's tuning in from the Duncanville-Bryan game as we've got a timeout called here by Arlington Heights, their first timeout taken in the first half of this football game. Alfred Slagle says he's watching from Calgary, Alberta, Canada tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Carson Petrie says he's watching his baby brother Kellen Petrie, number 10 for the Yellow Jackets, tuning in from Lubbock, Texas. We appreciate you being with us tonight. Destiny Powers says that she's tuning in from Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Says she's a Texan. She's rooting for the Yellow Jackets tonight. Martha Brothers says she's tuning in from Fort Worth, a 1974 grad of Southwest High School, has a friend whose grandson plays for Arlington Heights. Pat McMahon says, where are the fans on the other side of the field? Says a playoff game should bring out the fans. There's a small contingent from Frisco that made the drive down here. They may still be arriving, fighting through the traffic, getting across 30, but to be fair, this is an 18,000-seat stadium, so it's going to make any crowd look
right.
a little bit smaller than maybe it actually is. Out of the timeout, 3rd down and 8. Orozco looking deep for Bisco again behind the defense. Yes, he got a foot down in bounds. Yes, he did. Inside the 15, another deep hit for Tamir Bisco.
How about that? The deep over route and a throw from Eric Orozco. This connection that these guys have is amazing. Got the foot down, and man, these big plays right now are starting to add up. And if you're, the Independence Knights, man, you got to try and find some kind of way to get some pressure on Orozco because he's cooking. He's cooking right now.
Arlington Heights won that game against Colleyville Heritage. That earned them a home playoff game. They were fired up to play this game tonight, and you're seeing it. Orozco faked it, took it himself, gets to the 10-yard line, a pickup of 3 on the play.
Loving the play design. That one earlier, though, that deep over route to Tamir Bisco, that had this entire night squad fooled. Getting in deep behind those safeties. Again, they find themselves in the Knights' territory.
2nd down and 8 now. Both Furch and Monroe in the backfield there with Orozco. Orozco's going to keep it himself, following the block of Monroe inside the 5, hammered down. Chase Warren with the tackle, and there is a flag on the play. Molly Mullen says, A Heights. Fort Worth proud, says she's a teacher, said she's proud of her students tonight. It's going to be a hold against Arlington Heights. It will be 2nd down once again, but from now outside of the 10-yard line, they'll spot it at the 14. Arlington Heights again can get a 1st down without scoring. They have to get to close to the 3-yard line. It's 2nd down and 11 here. Orozco fakes the handoff, rolling out, has a man wide open. It's Micah Powell inside the 10, slung out of bounds by James Dewberry, close to 1st down yardage, a hair shy.
And look at what play action does to this Knights team. Anytime there's a threat for Brian Furch to carry the ball, this entire Knights defense goes with him and allows this open space for Orozco to pass into. For Michael Powell, man, that couldn't have been an easier catch for him. The one thing that you'd like to see him do is to try and extend out to get that 1st down.
3rd down and 3. They'll officially mark him out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Orozco with Furch to his right. 2 wides to the bottom of the formation. Furch with the carry. Patient in the hole, picking his way, getting close to the goal line, lunges in, touchdown. Brian Furch with a patient run to go in from 6 yards out, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Look at number 22. You talk about patience. He is just right there, right behind number 75, Gabe McClelland. And he's saying, look, big man, you're going to lead me into the end zone. And number 22, man, just doing a wonderful job. I told you earlier, man, this play fakes that they're going with, this whole Knights defense is converging down to try and stop Furch, man. Good job by number 22 getting into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown.
This time clean on the execution for the PAT, and it's 13-0 Arlington Heights with the lead. Brian Furch with his 2nd touchdown run of the night, and the Yellow Jackets with a fast start here at Farrington.
Wake up with Daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic, but hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Just about 800 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. We do appreciate you tuning in tonight. Please share this feed around with your friends and family in the Fort Worth and Frisco communities as the kickoff here from Arlington Heights runs out of bounds. That will draw a flag, and it will be good field position here for the Frisco Independence Knights. Anthony Jacobs says in the YouTube feed that he's watching from the Colony tonight, says he's a 2006 Arlington Heights alum. Off the penalty, they will spot the football at the 30-yard line, and out comes this Knights offense.
Mike, right now what I want to see is what can the Knights do with this favorable field position, finding themselves down by 13 points. It really just came out playing a little bit tight, and you could tell, man, for the Yellow Jackets, they came in with the purpose. They have the crowd behind them, but they've gotten behind this running game, and not only that, I say running game, they got behind this passing attack. Bet you didn't think you'd say that tonight.
I know. Good throw here, though, from Quatrin to Landon Neely will move the chains. And if memory serves, that's the first down of the football game for Frisco Independence.
No, it is. And how about that? They're loosening up as well. Mateo Quatrin with a good ball, a good deep out also of his own for the first down.
Quatrin with 13 touchdown passes on the year. Handoff here for Enyuribe. Big hole coming near side. Bangs his way across the midfield stripe. Pickup of 9 on the play.
Yeah, and this is a team, again, they do a really good job of staying balanced. Those first couple of drives, nothing was going their way. This Yellow Jackets defense is suffocating them up front.
And Uribe on the year, 13 touchdowns, over 800 yards, had a $197 and 2 touchdowns last week against Frisco Emerson in the final game of the year. Second and a yard, first time that Independence has gotten into Arlington Heights territory. Motion man across the formation was West. Pressure in his face. Immediately the blitz got him in a heartbeat. Down goes Quatrin. The sack for the freshman, Kanan James.
Kanan James, he comes through. Looks like he is shot out of a cannon, unblocked.
There is a flag on the play. They're going to decline it. It's going to be against Frisco Independence, a hold on their offensive line, and despite that, James got home anyway. Phil Young, the Arlington Heights head coach, told us earlier this week, he said, we're going to blitz you until you're on the bus, and we may even blitz you on the bus. He said, we're going to bring people at you over and over and over again. And he said, listen, it's going to burn us sometimes. You're going to get us a couple of times in the passing game. But for the most part, they feel like they're going to get home. They're going to rattle your quarterback. And at least here in the early going, they have gotten to Mateo Quatrin.
No, and that is a direct quote. He said that. He said, I'm going to blitz you on the bus getting off. Going back home, we're blitzing you.
And here it comes once again. They set up the screen, and Uribe with space on the near side makes a man miss up the sideline, back across midfield. In fact, they'll mark him out of bounds right at the midfield stripe. Not enough for a first down. It's going to be 4th and 3.
But that is a quality play, and that was going to be my point. When you have a defense that is aggressive like that, you want to try and get those screens in behind them. That's a great play call, and they find themselves on 4th down having to go for it.
Out of the pistol, Quatrin with Enyuribe behind him, trying to draw a guy offside. They nearly got the end man on the far side of the line to come across. Down to 10 on the play clock. Quatrin does take the snap. Looking near side, over the middle. No flags on the play, incomplete, and a 4th down stop for the Yellow Jackets defense.
Man, we talk about how impressive this Yellow Jackets offense is. Right now, it's the Yellow Jackets defense that's setting the tone. That is a big-time 4th down that they have made this Independence night leave the field, put their offense back out on the field. That's incredible work. They've done so well at shutting down Uribe. We know what he is, a guy that likes to get outside, but also is tough inside as well. They've shut these guys down, and we haven't even heard the name of their do-it-all tight end wide receiver, Jake Simpson.
So 1st and 10 right at midfield here for Eric Orozco and the Arlington Heights offense. Fake the handoff, keep it himself, and strung out nicely by this Knights defense. Couple of bodies there, ultimately taken down by Keith Rockwell.
That's Knights defense. They've got to find a way to get in rhythm and help this offense out. They're going to need to either, get a strip, recover, get a fumble. Something is going to have to go their way. This first quarter has completely belonged to the Yellow Jackets.
2nd down and 11 as Orozco looks near side. Quick throw, far side. Bisco Has a blocker trying to make a man miss, cannot. Nice job by McKendon Brown to square him up and keep it to a short gain.
Well, they're playing man-to-man on the outside, and so for Brown, he has to make sure, for McKendon Brown, make sure that he gets the tackle, don't allow any yards because there's no help over the top. So that's a great job by the senior.
And right on cue, a comment here from Michelle Nahas says, cheering on the Knights, and her daughter's boyfriend, McKendon Brown,
How about
says,
that?
let's go Knights.
Hey, when you got support from the mom, man, that's everything.
3rd down and 8 here with 40 seconds left in the first quarter. This feels like an imperative moment for the Knights defense to try and get off the football field. Play action, quick throw, far side, looking for Bisco, overshot him, incomplete. And for the first time tonight, second time tonight, the Knights defense will force a punt.
Yeah, and Eric Orozco just was too quick on that throw. If he just had that ball back, when he looks at this on tape, takes a second more, he can deliver a great pass inside to Mir Bisco. This is the first time that we saw a little bit of miscommunication between these two because they've been spot on to start this game.
So Alberto Chavoya on to punt it away. Line drive punt up the middle of the field, bounces past Landon Neely and into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And with 27 seconds left, back comes this Frisco Independence offense, led by their quarterback, Mateo Quatrin. Christina Adams says that she's a Knights coach's wife, cheering from home with the little one, says, go Knights. Coach K, the boss, says Fort Worth ISD needs a win, says keep grinding, Heights. I saw one comment here. Somebody said they were watching from Norway tonight. Wow. I'm seeing the reaction. Here we go. Johnny Ace says greetings from Norway.
That is awesome. Norway, London, people from all over watching Texas high school football.
We appreciate you guys being with us tonight. Please click the like button, click the subscribe button here on the WFA YouTube channel as the handoff goes to Enyuribe. Nowhere to go. This has been a swarming effort from this Yellow Jackets defense.
Yeah, and like you said, man, they are blitzing. They're coming after these guys, and I think for Mateo Quatrin, he's just trying to make sure that the ball security is there. And again, if they go 3 and out, 4 and out, regardless of that, man, they're just having to try to get something good to happen for them offensively because they've spotted the Yellow Jackets 13 points.
The opening quarter of the postseason is in the books. 13-0 Arlington Heights with the lead behind 2 Brian Furch touchdown runs. They lead it. Headed to the second quarter on Friday Night Football.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Farrington Field, the site tonight, built in 1939 as part of Franklin Roosevelt's WPA. Still standing and hosting a little history tonight as the UIL playoffs get underway. 2nd down and 8 for the first play of the second quarter, and Quatrin's going to roll near side, fires this way, complete in the hands of Landon Neely. Swarmed immediately. They'll be about 3 yards shy of the line to gain.
And right now, Alberto Chavoya, he is from the linebacker position, man. He is going sideline to sideline. It's an excellent tackle on the outside, but Landon Neely, great execution, bringing up another 3rd down for the Knights.
This time 3rd down and 3, a bit more manageable. Quatrin with Enyuribe behind him, looks far side to Chase Adams, their offensive coordinator. This Independence offense averaging 31 points per game. High snap, handoff, and Uribe, and nowhere to go. And again, it's Henry Mencken on the tackle. The senior linebacker has been everywhere tonight.
He is like a Scud missile. Look at him come up from the linebacker position, and he is meeting him before the line of scrimmage. That is cooking with gas right there if you're Henry Mencken, 6'2", 220, and that's how you play the linebacker position.
So out comes the punting unit once again for Frisco Independence. Matthew Goldman was hoping he wasn't going to be this busy punting tonight. He's a key piece for them on the defensive side of the ball as well. He's going to have to go back to work on that side here momentarily. Good punt over the head of the punt returner, and that's going to take a huge Frisco Independence bounce down inside the 20-yard line all the way to the 16-yard line. A fantastic punt. 58 yards in total. The punt for Matthew Goldman to flip the field.
And Goldman with the roll down to the 16-yard line. Way to flip the field position. Say he didn't want to get this much work early, but I tell you what, he's paying off for him. That's the secret weapon for the Knights.
Chris Bird says hello from Valley View Nursing Home in Fort Worth, says go Jackets. Jeremy Lopez says, let's go Heights. Keep up that energy. Katie Puente says, let's go Knights. Watching live from McKinney. Says she's an Independence High School counselor cheering on her amazing students. Chad Van Wickle says, watching live from Sugar Hill to see the best offensive coordinator on the planet, says go Heights. Big fan of Kai Kelm in the YouTube comments. Second down and 7, handoff right up the middle here for Monroe, spinning his way through tackles, flag on the play.
I can tell you immediately the problem that I'm having between 22 and 29. I can't tell them apart. I can't tell them apart.
It's funny you say that because that's the same thing Nick Stokes said. Yeah. He said you watch the tape and you see these guys as it is a hold here against Arlington Heights. Second time we've seen them flagged for a hold here in the opening 15 minutes of this football game. He said you watch them hand the ball off to 22 and hand it off to 22 and hand it off to 22, and then you see him hand it off again and you think for sure it's the same kid, but it's actually 29. They are very similar body styles. They are very similar running styles. He said, oh my gosh, they've got two of them. They're both really good backs, and that makes it really tough to stop both of them. Second down and 13 off the penalty. They set up the screen here for Furch. Makes a man miss, but taken down from behind. It'll be third down at about 9.
How about that? And the Yellow Jackets respond with a screenplay of their own, trying to catch this Independence Knights defense off guard. So we have an injured player down on the field.
It's an Independence Knight defender that is down. Trying to spot the number. Might be Colton Banks, their linebacker. It is indeed 33 that is down and being tended to by Lex Davis and Joey Frere, their athletic training staff. Comment from Destiny Powers on the YouTube feed says, happy Veterans Day to all vets. We'll echo that sentiment for sure. Coach K, the boss, echoing the happy Veterans Day as well. Kiloton in the comments says, as a teacher, they love it when their students come in Monday morning with, never mind, not going to finish reading that comment.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get drawn offside on some of these. Hey, credit to you. You got me about 80% of the way through the comment before I realized, nope, not going to finish that one. Janyaya says, watching from Orlando, Florida. Watching number 18, her best friend sends love from Orlando. I'm not sure if that's 18 for Independence or Arlington Heights. Either Markel Sanders or Jordan Caldwell. Back to the action here on 3rd and 8. Quick throw near side. Bisco on the screen, taken down immediately. Good work to knife across and make the tackle. Lionel Davis on the stop, and it's 4th down.
And how about this? Both of these teams showing their capacity for those screens. And Look, I think the Knights have also responded in kind. They're bringing the blitz as well. They're not allowing these wide open running lanes for either of these running backs, and that's a good way to stand up to start this second quarter.
4th down and 8. Low snap. He's going to have to scramble to get on top of that. Good work by Chavoya just to get the punt away, but it's going to be short. Bounces across the 35-yard line, but heck, this will be outstanding field position for Independence.
When you say great job by Chavoya, look at how hard that was for him to maintain or get a hold of that ball and also get the punt off. That could have been disaster for the Yellow Jackets.
Over 900 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Again, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, as we'll bring you a high school football game every week here on the WFA YouTube channel on Friday Night Football. This is the opening round of the UIL playoffs, the by-district round in 5A Division II, Region 1 action. As Quatrin rolls out near side, looking deep, has a man behind the defense, nearly in one-on-one coverage. That will draw a flag. The hand fight back there is going to draw the flag on Cam Coleman. And what was already good field position for Independence is about to get even better. Indeed it is pass interference. Again, Todd Denton, our official tonight out of the Waco chapter. Jim Murphy, his umpire. That sets up a fresh 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line in Arlington Heights territory. Heckman, this is the best chance that Independence has had all day.
And I tell you what, Cam Coleman is probably asking himself, what can I do there? They get him for face guarding, but still he didn't interfere with getting his body into the receiver. But they get the yardage anyway and a fresh set of downs.
Quatrin's intercepted. He was pressured from behind and picked off, and sure enough, it's Coleman who just committed the penalty that gets the pick.
How about that for Cam Coleman? Hey, he commits the penalty and he makes amends for it by picking off Mateo Quatrin with pressure on his back. He's being blitzed and obviously just trying to get rid of the ball, and that was the last domino to fall for Mateo Quatrin and this Independence offense that has started off so bad in the first quarter, and now you add a turnover to it.
Mankin with the pressure, Coleman with the pick, and what feels better than that? The highs and lows there for Cam Coleman over the course of the last 90 seconds. Flagged for the pass interference. You're thinking you've just given up a golden scoring chance for your opponent. And then, boom, immediately you get a chance to make a play like that to give your offense the football back. Now here comes Furch near side. Stiff arms his way out across the 35 to the 37.
Well, it's just not fair. You got a guy that big and ability to bounce to the outside. You think you've got guys in the box to stop him, and then he has the ability to do just that, get to the outside and pick up positive yards. The Knights have got to be asking themselves, what do we have to do to get a negative play on this guy?
5-yard gain on the play, 2nd down and 5. Orozco getting the play from Kai Kelm. He'll have Monroe and Furch on either side. Now they're going to have to burn a timeout here. They were getting late in the play clock, and that's now 2 timeouts taken here in the opening half by Arlington Heights.
Yeah, disappointing. You could tell that for the quarterback, he's looking at the play clock. Eric Orozco he's trying to get another play off. I think he thought that he had the proper play call, but good job by not getting a delay of game on that to sit them back to a 2nd and 10.
Try and set the table for you here in 5A Division II, Region 1. This is the top half of Region 1, the top 8 teams in that region. Canutillo won their game against Palo Duro last night, so they've already moved on to the 2nd round. Same story for Abilene Wiley. Winner of this game will face Canutillo. Frisco Emerson and Colleyville Heritage, 2 teams in these 2 respective districts of Independence and Arlington Heights, play tonight as well for the honor to face Abilene Wiley in the 2nd round. Abilene Wiley, Frisco Emerson, Colleyville Heritage, any of those 3 I feel like could come out of that side of the bracket. I really feel like the winner tonight, Heckma's got a real good chance to beat Canutillo in the second round and be in a regional semifinal.
No, I agree with you, and especially looking at this Fort Worth Arlington Heights squad in person, you can tell defensively, we didn't start off talking about them defensively, but they're the ones that have set the tone, and obviously this offense with it's not a thunder and lightning backfield. This is just all thunder.
Thunder and thunder and more thunder, and
thunder.
Here comes a little more thunder to punch you in the face. Yeah, you better be ready to tackle tonight if you're the Independence Knights defense. 3rd down and a yard after the 4-yard pickup by Monroe. They'll switch up the formation here. Orozco with Furch to his right. Tried to give it to him, fumbled the football. Orozco pounced on it, but he's going to get taken down for a loss, and that's going to probably force a punt here from Arlington Heights.
Well, and how many times have we seen this in these read option offenses where there's a miscommunication or mishandle on the handoff? Man, if you just hand that off to number 22, I think he can do the rest. But here we are again at 4th down, and they're having a punt.
So here comes Chavoya to punt it away. Chavoya, snap on target this time. High looping punt up the near sideline will check up and bounce out of bounds at the 40. So back comes Independence once again off the interception moments ago, thrown by Quatrin, picked off by Cam Coleman, and again now the Knights have to go back to work to try and find some sort of offensive consistency, Heckma. It's been a very herky-jerky first half so far.
No, it really hasn't. I want to go back to Chavoya doing a good job of getting in front of that punt. Man, there is a swirling wind right now in this stadium that Chavoya is punting into. So they may say, hey, man, this punter's not doing a good job. He's doing the best he can trying to get this ball off. But you're right. Offensively right now for the Knights, they've got to find some type of rhythm. This defense for the Yellow Jackets, man, they have been stifling in all over them.
Handoff then Uribe, but there once again is this Arlington Heights defense. This time it's Roy Wright knifing in from the near side for the tackle.
Yeah, and look at this. Roy Wright from the edge position. He is right on this, and that's the thing that I think is so baffling about what this Yellow Jackets defense is doing. When they're making tackles in the backfield. They're getting close to even taking the handoff.
2nd down and 10 after no gain. Pistol set here for Quatrin and Uribe. Fake the handoff, throw up the near side, looking deep behind the defense, but just overshooting Landon Neely.
Boy, I know Mateo Quatrin, he is facing a lot of pressure. You see all of these Yellow Jackets at the line of scrimmage, but these two guys, if they can finally get some type of connection on that throw, he has gotten a couple of steps right now on Cam Coleman. He's beat, and Landon Neely, he can come down with that, man. He walks into the end zone.
Now 3rd down and 10. Tubeless ABC says, let's go, Indy. They need to get to the 49 in Arlington Heights territory to move the chains here. Quatrin, straight drop, pressure in his face, quick throw near side, tipped and incomplete. Neely couldn't haul it in. The delivery was high. They had the screen set up, but they couldn't make the connection.
It is pressure, and more pressure from this Yellow Jackets defense. They are not letting any stone be unturned when it comes down to this blitz. They are crowding the line of scrimmage, and they are forcing Mateo Quatrin to get rid of the ball quickly, and I think that is the biggest part that's keeping this team off balance right now.
So out to punt it once again is Goldman. Another good punt, driving the returner back inside his own 15. If it weren't for such a big bounce there, it might have been an even better result there for Independence, but it does take the big hop into the end zone for the touchback. Lola Carter says, A Heights, watching from Missoula, Montana, a former varsity cheer captain. Kelsey K says, tuning in from Oklahoma, says, go Knights, proud sister of head coach Nick Stokes. Cheering on Independence tonight. Jan Yaya says, let's go Markel. Christopher Carter says, how about that Heights defense? That has been a big storyline early on, Heckma Harrison. They've been very good.
Hey, she's seeing what I'm seeing. And we did a lot of talking in the opening. Maybe that's why the power went out. It's going to give some credit to the defense, finally.
1st and 10 handoff here for Furch, and nowhere to go. Maybe a pickup of 2. Past the midway point here in quarter number 2. Arlington Heights with a 13-0 lead. Brian Furch with both touchdowns today for Arlington Heights to give him 24 on the year. All 24 coming on the ground. He has 3 receptions for 14 yards. They hand the football to Brian Furch and let him go to work.
Yeah, he's not a threat in the receiving game. They want to make sure they give him the ball so he can do exactly what he's doing right there.
Yeah.
And that is just run over you. I think that's the balance that they're looking for. He is such a load, man. He's, it's not that he can't run away from you, but once he gets that contact, he's taking guys to the ground, and usually he's falling forward.
Mm-hmm. He wants to punish you.
And he does it.
And eventually, over time, that wears a defense down. He's got the carry here on 3rd and 1. He'll have the first down out to the 35-yard line.
And love the sportsmanship from Elijah Knott. Pulling Brian Furch up off the ground. But I tell you what, I have a guy like that running me over. I am going to leave you down there. Your teammate's going to have to come and get you. I am not helping you. I'm sorry. I love it. I love it. But, man, I'd be sick of seeing him.
Former Lincoln High and Kansas State linebacker Heckma Harrison.
Not
helping the offensive player out.
Not doing it. I swear to you.
Stoppage here prior to the snap. There is a flag down on the near side. Looks like Arlington Heights may be about to give 5 yards back here. It is a false start against the Yellow Jackets offense. Naxalone, a usual viewer here on Friday Night Football, says Kapea, Hawaii checking in.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you every time you check in.
Especially tonight, man. It is frigid here in North Texas. Down into the 30s probably tonight. I don't think there's any probably about it, in fact. 1st and 15 after the penalty. Orozco to the air. Another deep shot for Bisco. 1-on-1. Undershot him and bounces at his feet.
And that's McKendon Brown. He's doing a really good job on the outside as well. And way to not draw the pass interference as he has Tamir Bisco coming right towards him. Tamir Bisco's had quite a first half. But I got to credit number 28. That's good coverage on the outside. He is on an island by himself. The Knights have got to find a way to generate some type of pressure on this offense. I mean, they have allowed right now Eric Orozco to have a lot of time back there to get passes off.
2nd down and 15. They hand it off to Furch. Only a yard to speak of, and it's going to be 3rd and very long.
Yeah, but those are the kinds of runs. Again, it doesn't matter for Furch. He gets those 1-yard gains, those 2-yard gains, and before you know it, we're going into the 3rd, 4th quarter. He's rattling off a 10, 15-yard gain. That's his game. That's what he loves to do. He doesn't mind a carry for a yard. Matter of fact, I think he's one of those runners that relishes getting tackled for a 1-yard gain.
On a 42-yard night here in Fort Worth, 3rd down and 14 is about to become 3rd down and 19. The false start on the near side. I think it was Anthony Lara that jump stopped just a little bit earlier than he wanted to. And it's going to be 3rd and a mile.
That must have been a play called for Anthony Lara because he was
ready.
He was ready to go.
He was out the gates. 3rd down and 19. They've got to get right to the 45-yard stripe to pick up a first down. Orozco in shotgun. 2 wides to the near side of the formation. Fakes the handoff to Furch, rolling near side, over the outstretched fingertips and into the hands of Bisco. Not going to be enough for a first down, but a great ball there from Orozco. It'll be 4th down and about a yard. Where are they spotting this? I'm sorry, no, they're going to spot at the 41. It'll be 4th and 4. And it looks like Arlington Heights will still have to punt it away.
And that's Colt Petty, the defender on the side. He skies. He goes up to try and get a tip this pass. And just got to credit Eric Orozco for the trajectory and the air that he puts under that for the completion.
So on 4th and 4, here comes the punt unit once again for Arlington Heights as Chavoya gets set to punt it away. High punt into the wind. Fair catch called for and made at the 37-yard line. And back comes the Frisco Independence offense once again off the fair catch from Elijah Knott. Mateo Quatron and company have been frustrated so far in this football game, Heckma Harrison. It has been fits and spurts for their offense. They've had some opportunities. They got the good field position, but then the interception. It has been a bit of a slog so far for this Independence defense. Ton of credit to the Yellow Jackets defense and their defensive coordinator, Curtis James. They're doing a fantastic job tonight.
Curtis James has got to be a mad scientist the way that he's dialing this up. Look at the way that they're crowding the line of scrimmage. Maybe not starting. No, here they come. And they are crowding right there at the A-gap. They are starting with Henry Mankins right up front, and they are coming after you.
They try to throw it far side there for Jake Simpson, but he was blanketed. And in the pass falls incomplete. Lamont Mantilla there in coverage.
They are unmerciful with the blitz packages that they are coming after this guy. And I'm telling you, Mateo Quatron, even when he has time, he's feeling like he's being rushed because of the amount of blue jerseys that he has coming at him.
2nd down and 10. 2:56 here in the first half. All 3 timeouts still remaining here for Frisco Independence. So plenty of time for them to make their way down the field, but they have not had much success at making their way anywhere. And again, the blitz there from Henry Mankin forces the early delivery from Quatron, has to throw it away, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Man, I tell you what, this guy, Henry Mankins, is a player after my own heart, man. That's how you play linebacker. You know, you don't get anything dirty, no late hits, but you want to make sure that Mateo Quatron knows that you're in it to win it. You're in his face, and he's going to have to get rid of the ball quickly.
3rd down and 10. They've got to get to the 47 for a first down on their own side of the field. 2 wides to the bottom of the formation here for Quatron. Blitz once again. They pick up Mankin for a moment over the middle. Picked off again. The interception by Roy Wright, and for the 2nd time today, the Yellow Jackets come up with a pick.
Look at this. They're just switching up their coverages on the backside. They've been playing a lot of man. They finally go to a little bit of zone, and Mankin is just sitting back out in the flat, waiting on that ball to be delivered. They know that they're looking for Landon Neely on those deep crossers, and, man, they're just waiting on him. And that's the 2nd turnover right now for Mateo Quatron, who right now is – hey, man, I don't blame him. He's discombobulated because he has a lot of pressure being put on him.
As Coach K, the boss, said in the YouTube comments here, blitz, blitz, and blitz again.
Yeah.
This time it pays off with the pick for Roy Wright. The 2nd interception in 5.5 minutes for this Yellow Jackets defense. This time Orozco strung out on the rushing attempt to the far side. A loss of about half a yard.
How about that? Colton Banks, he's coming through, and he's like, look, man, I am sick of it. I am done with this love fest that you guys are having for Mankins. I play linebacker too, so let me show you something.
There is a flag on the play on the near sideline right at the line of scrimmage. If I was reading the lips of our referee tonight correctly, I believe he said illegal formation. The procedural penalty, a 5-yard penalty for Arlington Heights, and that will set up 1st down and 15.
And that's been the only problem for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
When they're playing from behind the chains, because they're a team that they love to run the ball. And anytime you're running the ball, being ahead of the chains is always favorable for you, because then you can go into those other aspects of your playbook.
So 2nd down and 16 now after the penalty. Orozco in shotgun. Furch and Monroe on either side of him. And now our referee's going to stop things. I think he's going to say it's 1st and 15. I think it should be a replay of the down. They marked the 5 yards off after the play, but I think the penalty happened before. I think officially that play that we saw take place there on 1st down doesn't actually exist because of the penalty. And it should be 1st and 15 from a yard further forward. He's still holding 2 fingers in the air, though.
Yes, he is. Guess who isn't complaining? Frisco Independence.
Certainly not. It will stay 2nd down. Second down and 16 it is. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Orozco with Furch and Monroe to either side of him. Handoff here for Furch. Nice cut back to the near side. Lowers his shoulder. Look at the leg drive right into the chest of a defender and gets out to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, and he's going to pick up positive yards, but look at this ability to still cut the play back, go back against the grain. And right now, if you're McKendon Brown, you're just asking for help to come over and try and stop this freight train coming at you.
3rd down and 11. Heights has just one timeout remaining in this first half. They did have to burn 2 of them earlier, so they do not have much in the way of abilities to stop the clock. A little razzle-dazzle here for Bisco, but Independence read it perfectly. The tackle immediately in the backfield by Lionel Davis, and it's 4th down and long, and Independence, I believe, will use their first timeout.
Yeah, how about that? Lionel Davis is coming up. He is going to get the stop. But that's just one of those plays where you're just trying to hit something big, and the Independence Knights, they read it perfectly.
It'll be 4th and 18, and with 55 seconds left here in the second quarter, Independence does indeed burn their first timeout of the second half. So they'll have 2 left to work with, and they're going to reset the clock to 1:05 as well. So not a ton of time, Heckma, but enough to try and go make something happen.
Yeah, and right now, obviously, if you know, they are just trying to, Coach Stokes really wants for Mateo Quatrin to get into halftime, to settle down, and they've got to make some adjustments right now. This Yellow Jackets defense has got these guys disjointed. They've tried to find some just small things to go good. In Uribe, the running back that we came in talking about, man, he hadn't been able to make anything happen on the ground.
He's been staring in the face of loaded boxes all night long, and that has made life difficult. I'm not sure why the clock is running again. And now they've reset it back to 1:05.
It's been one of those kind of nights, Mike.
A little bit.
All right.
So out of the timeout, 1:05 indeed back on the clock. 4th and 18, and Chavoya will punt it away. Deep to return for Frisco Independence is Elijah Knott. They come after the punt, don't get it. Low line drive punt right into the teeth of the wind, will check up and fall dead at the 36-yard line. That is a factor here, is the wind heavily at the back of Frisco Independence on this drive. They have a kicker in Nathan Anderson that they feel has range out to probably 45 yards, but their head coach Nick Stokes said, hey, with the wind, if the situation was right, we might try from 50. So if they're going to try and find points here with these 54 seconds and 2 timeouts, one possible avenue to that would be to get to about the 33-yard line.
I tell you what, the way that you can have success is block number 97. You do that, maybe it happens for you. And look at them again, man. It looks like they've got about 15 guys standing at the line of scrimmage.
Throw up the far side. What a catch! How did he make the adjustment on that and haul it in? But now breaking away inside the 25-yard line. What a play by Mackenzie West.
Look at this. Well, first of all, the throw. This ball just hangs in the what? The ball just hangs in the air, and Mackenzie West with the wherewithal to track that ball perfectly.
Josiah Hunter got flagged for interference. Of course, they will decline that penalty because West able to adjust and make the catch anyway, and it's 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. They set the chains, clock back running now at 42 and moving. Quatrin to the air once again. Quick throw far side, complete inside the 10-yard line, and Austin Call is out of bounds with 34 seconds left. All of a sudden, the Independence Knights have sprung to life.
Yeah, Mateo Quatrin, I was talking about him getting in to halftime to make some adjustments and calm down. Obviously, they said something to him on the sideline, and this is a good drive going right now for the Independence Knights.
They do give him enough for the first down. It's 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Quatrin to the air again, over the middle, pop pass, touchdown. Jake Simpson and Independence in a blink right back in the football game.
That is what you want. We talked about Jake Simpson and not calling his name, where there he is right there, right down the hashes into the end zone. And what a response by Frisco Independence, man. They seemed like they were dead in the water for a lot of this half. Finally going into halftime with something positive happening.
The 7-yard touchdown pass from Quatrin to Jake Simpson. And with 30 seconds left in the first half, Independence's offense, frustrated so much, finally pops, and it's 13-7, late second quarter on Friday Night Football.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
(13-7). Arlington Heights leads Frisco Independence late second quarter in the bi-district round of the UIL playoffs. We welcome you back to Farrington Field, historic Farrington Field, built in 1939. There's a sign in the visitor locker room that says, since 1939, student athletes have been walking these halls and walking this tunnel down to the field. Tonight, you get to be added to that collection of history. Both of these teams with a special opportunity tonight. Arlington Heights with a 13-7 lead coming near side on the kickoff return. A crease here across the 40-yard line, across midfield. Good patience, and inside the 45-yard line in Independence territory is Markel Sanders. What a return.
Man, that's Markel Sanders' patience. Look at this. He's coming all the way back across. The blocking is set up perfectly for him. Great job by the Yellow Jackets in responding. In here with 14 seconds, they may have an opportunity to set something up themselves. The one thing about this is, even if they have a kicker that can kick from a far distance, he'd be kicking directly into the wind.
Yes, Alberto Chavoya, they feel like he's got range to about 40, maybe 42 yards, somewhere in that ballpark, so they'd have to get to about the 25-yard line to be in his range, but realistically going into this wind, you'd think probably another 5 yards closer would be more realistic. 14 seconds, one timeout to work with here for Eric Orozco. Barks out signals to his offensive line. He's got Furch and Monroe to his left and right. Quick throw near side. Bisco complete at the 32. Taken down in bounds. Shy of the first down, and they will burn that one timeout they had left. 8 seconds on the clock.
And that's the drawback of burning, not saving yourself 2 timeouts right here going into the half. Like they tried to get away from the delay of game earlier. I do understand it, but man, with 8 seconds left, they would need another timeout to do anything, to get anything positive going to get into the end zone.
Ball at the 33-yard line. From here, it would be a 50-yard field goal and into that wind. That is not a very realistic option here for the Yellow Jackets offense. So you imagine the play here is probably just to take one, maybe if you're fortunate, if the first play happens quickly, maybe 2 shots to the end zone, just kind of throw it up and see if you can make something happen here with the final seconds of this first half.
Yeah, it's got to be a quick out to get out of bounds to stop the clock. Can't be anything longer than 10 yards or so, and then try and take a shot into the end zone. So you're looking right now, let's just say at about trying to get maybe to about the 22-yard line.
Orozco throwing it up near sideline, looking for Bisco behind the defense, tipped away. Knocked away by McKendon Brown. 1 second left on the clock, so Arlington Heights is going to have one more crack at it. And you got to imagine, Heckma, the ball's going to go to number 7. He is very clearly their favorite target.
Yeah, and he was in double coverage, and Tamir Bisco really did have a step. That's Eric Orozco trying, not to throw, have a turnover, throw an interception right there. But, yeah, I think you're trying to get the ball in to number 7.
So one more crack at it here for Arlington Heights before halftime. 1 second for Eric Orozco and company. Bisco is to the bottom of the formation. They're going to hand it off here for Furch, and he's taken down immediately. They try to see if they could catch the defense from Independence napping. No such luck. The quick tackle there from Lionel Davis. And to halftime we go. 13-7. Arlington Heights with the lead. Heckma Harrison in the Independence creeping back into it there with a quick strike right before halftime.
No, they did a wonderful job, and Mateo Quatron does a good job of getting some quick passes out. And obviously it was Mackenzie West and his pass that in a ball that looked like it was a complete lollipop that he runs underneath, but then everything else starts to happen for them from there, and then you get Jake Simpson involved. This is a guy that we talked about in the open that was cut off because of the power outage, but we talked about Jake Simpson and his big play ability, and obviously he strikes, gets a touchdown, and now they find themselves only down by 6 points. It's strange, especially in a game where they look like they were completely out of sorts. And now Frisco Independence, all they need to do is make some minor tweaks here and there. Offensively, they got to find a way how to handle the blitz from the Yellow Jackets.
Brian Furch with his 23rd and 24th touchdown runs of the year, but Quatron to Jake Simpson right before halftime, and it's a 6-point game at the break. 13-7, Arlington Heights with the lead on Friday Night Football.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
As we welcome you back to Farrington Field in Fort Worth, 13-7. Our halftime score in favor of the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets. Brian Furch with a pair of touchdown runs in the opening quarter, one from a yard away, one from 6 yards out to establish a 13-0 Yellow Jackets lead. Right before halftime, though, Frisco Independence hitting a deep ball from Mateo Quatron to Mackenzie West to get him deep down into Arlington Heights territory, and Quatron hit Jake Simpson over the middle for a 7-yard touchdown pass to pay off the drive and find the end zone for the first time tonight to establish this halftime score, 13-7 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Ordinarily, we would bring you the halftime show from the bands from these respective teams, but at least to this point, 4 minutes into halftime, there's nobody on the field, so I don't believe we're getting a show from the bands tonight. We will step aside here for a moment. When we come back, we'll play you are open to the broadcast, because why not? You didn't get a chance to see it before kickoff. Why not have that fill up a little bit of halftime and give you guys a proper setup of tonight's football game? And even though we're halfway in, kind of set the table for what this matchup is and what it means for these two football teams. We'll do that when we return here on Friday Night Football.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up with Daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes, parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, tempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
As we welcome you back to Farrington Field, Friday Night Football. The by-district round of the UIL playoffs. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison here with you. Clay Marshall, our director tonight. Graham Rayner and John Heath, our photographers. Nick Blackhall, Paul Wedding, punching all the buttons back in-house. We do appreciate you being with us tonight on the WFAA YouTube channel and on WFAA+. If you were here with us right off the top of the broadcast, you know we had a power outage here at Farrington Field right in the middle of our broadcast open. And to peel back the curtain for you just a little bit, that is a pre-recorded broadcast open that we do each week, about an hour and a half before kickoff. So because we are sitting here in a situation where we're still 20 minutes away from the second half getting underway and no band halftime show to bring you, let's go ahead and show you our pregame open to help kind of set the table for the second half of this football game. So we can go ahead and roll that right about now. The sun is set over Farrington Field, and the dawn of the playoffs is upon us. 6 weeks to crown 12 new champions, with thousands of kids dreaming of glory. Tonight, the opening round of the playoffs as Fort Worth Arlington Heights hosts Frisco Independence in the 5A Division II playoffs. next on Friday Night Football. And with that, we welcome you to historic Farrington Field. Mike Leslie alongside former K-State and Lincoln High linebacker Heckma Harrison. And Heckma, these are two teams that struggled a year ago, both missed the playoffs, combined for 5 wins last year. This year, a combined 17-3. And for Fort Worth Arlington Heights, 9-1 and hosting a playoff game. There's an element of rarity for a Fort Worth ISD team to accomplish that. This is a special group.
No, it really is. And the perception is not reality with this Fort Worth Arlington Heights team. A lot of teams, when they get aligned in this district, they think that, look, this is going to be an easier way to get into the playoffs. Not so fast, says Fort Worth Arlington Heights. And they have assembled a team coming off of last year that has been very successful. They have won some key games. I can't wait to see these guys.
They upset Colleyville Heritage a few weeks back. That's what helped earn them the 2 seed and this home playoff game, and they were very excited to get one more game here at Farrington Field for their seniors. They do it, Heckma, primarily on the ground. A full 75% of their plays this season have been running plays. They like to get in your face, and they like to run the football a lot.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is they're not a balanced team. And what they like to do is run the ball. They play to their strength. They know what got them here, and it's that running game. They like to ground and pound you for 4 quarters. They wear you down. When I talk about the Colleyville Heritage game, if you just go back to that, there was a part in that game where it just looked like they had them. Colleyville Heritage had quit on their stool. And look, they're just a tough out. And obviously Frisco Independence is going to find that out today.
Meanwhile, for Frisco Independence, 8-2 on the year, coming out of a very deep and talented district in 3-5A Division II. Number 1 Argyle in that district, and then they battled all through the season with Lake Dallas and Frisco Emerson for playoff positioning. Wound up here as the 3 seed, but they're a talented football team that bounced back from a 3-7 season a year ago.
Well, they feel like they're battle-tested coming into this game. When you talk about the Argyles, the Lake Dallases, the Emersons, all of those teams are viable in the playoffs, and they're going to give a lot of teams problems. And so Frisco Independence, they're very confident. They feel as though, look, all they have to do is put their best stuff out on the field. You talk about the opposite of the Yellow Jackets of not being balanced. Yeah. These guys are very balanced.
Yeah, Mateo Quantran, their quarterback, Jake Simpson, a big and talented and difficult to guard tight end. They can do a lot of things in the passing game in addition to the run game, which we'll get to in just a moment. Give you a look at the bracket here in 5A Division II. This is the top half of Region 1. Canutillo already won their first round game over Paladuro, so the winner of this game will get Canutillo in the second round. Colleyville Heritage and Frisco Emerson awaiting on the bottom half of this bracket as well. The winner of that one will play Abilene Wiley. And both of these teams have got an opportunity, Heckma, to make a decent run in these playoffs. It has to start tonight, though.
And they both feel that way. I mean, both of them, like you come off of the seasons that they had last year, they have leadership all across the board. And when you put together a season like this, it has a special feel about it. It's just unfortunate that someone has to lose tonight. And these are two teams that are really putting themselves in position to make a state title run.
Give you a look at our players to watch for tonight. We mentioned the ground game for both teams, and it's the 2 running backs that we're talking about. First from Frisco Independence, Uday Enyuribe, really, really talented kid.
No, he really is. I mean, and he's a guy that can stretch those plays. I mean, really a fast player. He's a ground and pounder as well. I mean, but again, he's a guy that likes to get to the outside, do all the fun stuff that you like to see. He's like a joystick kind of a player. But again, he's a part of this Frisco Independence offense, and they get behind him, and they have a lot of success.
Last week in one of their most important games of the year, 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. He can seriously tote the rock. So too can Brian Furch, the running back from Arlington Heights. Over 1,400 rushing yards this year, 22 total touchdowns. Heckma, this kid's very talented.
Hey, Brian Furch is a bull in a china shop. He is a guy that will wear you down. He likes to do everything inside. And I talked to his coach, and I said, man, did they ever ask you to bring out a birth certificate for this guy? Because he looks like he's a lot older. He's a man amongst boys out there playing. I mean, he has the full package as a running back. He can run you over. He can run past you. He's a track guy, but also he has a serious stiff arm. I cannot wait to see Furch out here today.
Their most important game of the year was against Colleyville Heritage. We mentioned the upset earlier. He had 278 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game. He's really good. Finally, the playoffs have arrived. The road to AT&T Stadium begins this week for 24 teams. The bi-district round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Next on Friday Night Football. So if you were with us right off the top of the telecast, that was the open that you were supposed to see before the power went out. It is halftime here at Farrington Field, 13-7, the score in favor of the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets. 2 Brian Furch touchdown runs and a Mateo Quatrin to Jake Simpson touchdown pass for Frisco Independence to set this halftime score. Midway through the 28-minute halftime, we'll step aside for a moment. When we return, a special story about this Arlington Heights football team and the fantastic season they've had so far.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA Plus. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, tempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA Plus.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
Back at Farrington Field, halftime on Friday Night Football, 13-7, the lead in favor of the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets over the Frisco Independence Knights in the bi-district round of the UIL playoffs. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison back with you here in the broadcast booth. Heckma, an interesting first half. Heavy Arlington Heights there for the first 22 minutes of this football game, but right there at the end of the first half, a big drive from Independence, the big hit to Mackenzie West on the deep ball. That sets up the touchdown pass to Jake Simpson, and all of a sudden we've got ourselves a game here to start the second half, 13-7.
No, we absolutely do, and I'll tell you what, the Yellow Jackets were just rolling in those first 22 minutes, as you just stated, but that's a good job by the Frisco Independence Knights finding a way to get back in this game, to go into halftime. They've just got some subtle adjustments that they have to make, and that's blocking this Yellow Jackets defense.
9-1 the season this year for the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets, the number 2 seed out of District 4-5A Division II, the upset of Colleyville Heritage, 41-31, that kind of made everybody, myself included, kind of sit up and go, wait, what happened now? And there are perceptions, there are expectations around Fort Worth ISD football. Some people will tell you that those expectations are unfair, and Arlington Heights has proven that over the course of this year. But this is a special group and a special season for a team that had gone 2-8 and 3-5 in the last 2 years.
Well, I think we both know it's a new day, and you can tell by the way that this team has performed. They have athletes all across the board, and I tell you could look no further than their defense. We started out in the open talking about their offense and what they do on the ground, but I think the surprising aspect has been how pleasantly aggressive this defense is. And look, I think they've been blitzing the Independence Knights, and that's been the tough part for them. They've got to find a way to adjust. But I'm telling you what, there is no way that anybody is looking at Fort Worth and these schools like again and saying that this is the easy road to go, because this isn't a cupcake out here.
They have proven that over the course of this year, but again, there are expectations. And I got a chance to hear, in particular, from their offensive coordinator, Kai Kelm. He was very frank about what people expect of Fort Worth ISD when I went to their practice on Tuesday afternoon. There are certain things that most people expect about a Fort Worth ISD football team.
Sloppy, not good facilities.
We haven't had a Fort Worth school to go past second round probably in many, many years.
Don't win a lot.
There's a lot of Fort Worth ISD teams that go to playoffs, but they don't really think of us as contenders.
But this year, the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets are 9-1.
I think we proved that wrong.
Led by their head coach, Phil Young, coaching from his filming perch that's actually a deer stand.
We keep telling that thing's going to fall.
It's a little sketchy right now. I have to tighten the bolts up.
This is what they do at Arlington Heights. Find a solution and make the most of it.
After 3 years, we usually give it to a kid and let them take it out to the ranch or something somewhere and hunt off of it. I don't know if they love me being right here all the time, right on top of them, but that's where I am. I like it.
Their players have adopted the same gritty mentality to turn around a program that had struggled recently.
And it's just really awesome that we've been 2-8 and 3-5 in the last 2 years, and that we can really just leave our mark.
We all came together during the off season. Everyone showed up, put that work in, and then see the results.
And never were the results more evident than in their 41-31 upset of Colleyville Heritage, a win that earned the Yellow Jackets a home playoff game.
We get the 2 seed. We're telling these seniors, hey, we're going back to Farrington. When we told them that, they were fired up.
Now they have a chance to push their dream season a step further.
Everybody on the football team, this is their first playoff game ever, so we should know how to act, but it'll be awesome.
At Arlington Heights High School.
Hopefully we're making Fort Worth proud.
I'm Mike Leslie. Our thanks to offensive coordinator Kai Kelm, defensive coordinator Curtis James, Henry Mankin, Micah Powell for talking with us over the course of the day. Their head coach, obviously, as well, Phil Young. I love Coach Young up on the kind of rickety deer stand. They said they've had that one for about 3 years. They're about ready to retire that one and go get a new one.
Hey, no one of these guys are hunting. You got your head coach up in the deer perch. So, makes sense now.
It's been a special year for this group, and it's been a special night for them as well, as they did get things started quite well. 2 Brian Furch touchdown runs to lead this game 13-7 at halftime. But you've made this point over the course of the first half. Their defense has been a huge, huge piece of the story so far tonight. Yes, we saw the late touchdown drive from Frisco Independence, but by and large, the Arlington Heights defense has been suffocating.
Yeah, Chavoya, Mankins, and how about Cam Coleman and that interception that he had? He was a guy that had the pass interference, and he made amends for that by coming right back and getting an interception. They've been keeping these guys off balance. There's some guys that we were thinking that we'd come in, Uribe from the other side, from the Independence Knights. These are just guys that they have blanketed, and we hadn't heard very much for them other than to end the first half. Like right now, this Yellow Jacket squad has got to feel good about where they are. They get the ball to start the second half, and I think that's going to make a difference, especially if they could come out and get a score. So, look, I think even though a little bit of the momentum was stolen there in the first half, look, this is a young squad that feels good about where they are, and I feel like just from that package that we just ran, the tide is changing in Fort Worth.
Give you a 5-minute warning here to the start of the second half. We are inching closer to football once again here on the WFA YouTube channel. I wonder the late connections there between Quatrin and Mackenzie West, the touchdown pass to Jake Simpson, does that loosen up the Arlington Heights defense any at all in the second half and allow Uday and Uribe to maybe finally get something going in the ground game?
No. They are going to go right back to what they did. And the thing was, it took almost like a Hail Mary pass to get things started for them. And I think other than those big plays, the Yellow Jackets have got to feel good about where they've been defensively. They've kept these guys behind the chains. Those first 3 drives, they were just going 3 and 4 and out and did not get anything positive going. They've been getting their punter has earned his pregame meal from all the kicks that he's had. So, look, for the Yellow Jackets, they don't have to change a thing. They gave up the big play. They gave up the touchdown to end the first half, but they just got to stay with the formula. And other than that, man, you got to go with the guy that brought you, and that's Furch. You got to get this running game back going.
If you're Independence, you've got to show more consistency with the pass game to unlock anything in that regard. How do they go about it? What do you think should be the adjustments for first-year head coach Nick Stokes?
You know, I really think it's the difficulty is they tried to get some screens going initially, and those things were not happening for them. They've got to – this offensive line have got to block things up a little bit better and give these guys some time. He hadn't had any time at all. Him in the pocket, he's just had so many defenders around his feet. So getting in a rhythm is going to be important for them, and obviously putting more points up on the board.
We'll step aside one last time here at halftime. When we return, second half action here on Friday Night Football. Arlington Heights with a 13-7 lead at the break. Third quarter action right after this.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up with Daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
As we welcome you back to Farrington Field. By-district round action in the UIL playoffs. Winner of this game advances to the area round to face Canutillo, who knocked off Paladuro last night. It will be Arlington Heights football to begin the second half. Independence set to kick it away. Line drive kick up the center of the football, fielded on a hop from his own 8-yard line. Here comes Tamir Bisco with a seam right up the middle. Bisco with a head of steam. Breaks a tackle across midfield. Foot race up the near sideline. Bisco inside the 20 and run out of bounds. Another fantastic return from the Yellow Jackets.
I talked to you about this at the half. We talk about the momentum that the Independence Knights has. And you know what? Tamir Biscoe says, hey, hold my Pepsi. I got a message I need to send to these guys on the other side. And he breaks off a big one to get this game, this second half started. Man, what a way to respond to open the second half by number 7, Tamir Biscoe, who had himself one heck of a first half.
And after all that, a flag is going to negate the majority of it anyway. We'll see exactly where they threw the flag and where they're going to walk this back to. But this is the exact thing a Yellow Jackets fan would not want to see, and that's everybody on the football field walking backwards. Our referee is standing at the 17-yard line.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
A tremendous return by Tamir Biscoe, negated in its entirety, because they're going to walk it back from the 17 as the spot of the foul. Tamir Biscoe caught that football at the 7-yard line. They just placed it at the 8.
Yeah, Biscoe does a good job. Look at that, man. Once he gets it, he pretty much is the middle of the field is where he's activating it, where he's getting active, and you see the holding penalty right there. They called it correctly.
Clay Marshall, if we can run that back one more time, you see the block in the back right at the very front end of the return here. It's going to be on the right side of your frame as Biscoe comes through right on the back side of the frame. You saw it at the tail end there. The block in the back negates it all. And it's 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. Running near side is Furch. Hammered out of bounds on the near sideline.
Look, you're getting them confused as well. That's Brandon Monroe.
It's so easy to do.
No, they have that low center of gravity, the way that they run, and I think if you're Frisco Independence, you really like to see them trying to get these guys going east and west instead of north and south, because, I mean, even though they're fast, I'm just saying that gives that defense an opportunity to try and spread things out, and Keith Rockwell does a really good job of getting the tackle.
Gain of 2 on the play there for Monroe. 2nd down and 8. The Tamir Biscoe kickoff return entirely negated by the block in the back. Now good pursuit here in the backfield by the Independence defense. Nowhere to go. The tackle made on the near side there by Daniel Ayuk. And it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, they are forcing this team to try and pick up some yards. They are not allowing them to get the edge. Great job by Daniel Ayuk, trying to force things back inside to bring up a big-time 3rd down. How about that, man? That penalty negates the big gain, and here they are facing a huge 3rd down.
Orozco to the air, far side, hauled in for the 1st down. Micah Powell on the reception.
Whew. Michael Powell brings that ball in, and also as you look at that, Orozco is throwing into traffic. That is a dangerous throw because Elijah Knott looked like he was underneath that throw.
Instead, the 1st down connection to Powell, the senior tight end who you saw in that piece we ran there at halftime. And that moves the chains. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Orozco, handoff, big hole, closes off pretty quickly there for Monroe. Brandon Monroe and Brian Furch, the 2 running backs for the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets. Furch listed at 5'10", 200 pounds. Monroe, there was no height and weight listed. I'm going to go ahead and say 5'10", 200 pounds because they look like the same kid out there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they are twins for sure, and that's a good job by Cooper Kroll on the other side of getting that tackle.
Monroe staying in bounds and getting up the sideline. He's going to have the 1st down. Good patience there as he got to the edge.
What I love more than anything, look at this block on the outside by Brandon Furch. He is leading the way for his running back mate. You love to see things like that where 2 guys are so unselfish in their approach to block for one another. That is awesome. And you also see Brandon Monroe, he goes down and plays. It's not a fullback. He's more of an H-back when he goes down to block for Brian Furch as well. Those are the kind of things that show up in film study, and, man, that's contagious when guys do that for one another.
It's going to be Monroe on the carry once again, running right side. Undercut on the sideline by the cornerback. Christian Gibson on the tackle.
And go right back to it again, and look at that. That is number 22, Brian Furch, allowing him to capture that edge and get to the outside, beating the contain.
Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6. Arlington Heights has done a nice job of digging themselves out of the hole they created for themselves with the penalty on the kickoff return, negating a big return by Bisco and setting them up at their own 8-yard line, but now they're out to the 39. Handoff here for Furch, spun his way down to the 42. Beg your pardon, it's Monroe again.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't blame you. It's okay. I mean, Matthew Goldman coming up with the tackle, and this has been a drive for Brandon Monroe, and he's been picking up all the positive yards and brings up a 3rd and short. And I think these guys, they love 3rd and short because they have 2 backs that they can just say, which one of you guys want to get the first down for us?
Furch and Monroe in the side cards here for Orozco. Furch with the carry here on 3rd and 3. Got to get to the 45. Slip down. Flag on the play. 2 of them fly in right at the feet of right tackle Luis Ortega.
I think they're going to get a hold on the outside on number 50.
That is the preliminary signal here against Arlington Heights. He was short of the line to gain. It would be 4th and 2 if Nick Stokes elected to decline the penalty. They are going to decline the penalty and take the 4th down. They're going to spot the ball at the 42-yard line, so officially no gain on the play. It'll be 4th down and 3. At least as of yet, I don't see Heights with their punt team out. Now they're going to have to burn a timeout here. I think that threw off Phil Young and his coaching staff. I don't think they were expecting the penalty to be declined there by Nick Stokes. And they've got to burn the timeout here to avoid a delay of game on 4th and 3.
Wow, and if you're going to end up punting anyway out of the 4th down, that's, you send your punt unit on so that you don't have to burn that timeout. But nonetheless, they do. And like I said, even if you do get the delay of game, it's okay. You don't burn a timeout.
And that's really the question that you have to ask here as a coach is the 5-yard delay of game penalty worth one of your 3 precious second half timeouts?
It is not. You make sure, you don't burn the timeout, basically. You take the penalty, put your punter on the board.
Chavoya punting into that wind once again, checks up like crazy. Arlington Heights trying to push a Knight into the football. It was eventually scooped up there by Frisco Independence's Colton Banks. If a ball is touched by the punting team, you are then clear to pick it up as the receiving team without risk of fumbling it away and muffing the punt. The play would be dead at that point, and indeed they do bring the ball back to that 46-yard line where it was initially downed by Arlington Heights. A good field position here for Frisco Independence. Down 13-7. We saw the late first half drive, Heckma Harrison, to get them back in this football game. Now they get a stop defensively on the first possession of the second half, and all of a sudden an opportunity here for the Knights. Quatrin had the ball slip out of his hand. I don't know if they're going to say if that's a fumble or an incomplete pass. The referee behind the play now signaling incomplete. It certainly looked like he began the process of throwing the football and then had it slip out. Where that ball slipped out is that's before that should have been a fumble. They will say incomplete, and it will be 2nd down and 10. No review in Texas high school football but for the state championship games at AT&T Stadium. Quick throw far side, and Uribe, nice grab, makes the first man miss up the sideline. A pickup of 7 or 8. It'll set up 3rd and short.
And that's a great play design for Uribe, getting him out in space. He is one of their playmakers, Mike. A guy that when you give him that much space with the ball in his hands, he can make something happen. And the way that this defense is playing, they're so aggressive. If you miss him in open space, he can take it to the house.
Over 1,000 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Quick throw up the far sideline, just a bit too far. I think they stopped this play before it even officially began.
Oh, that should have been a free play.
They're going to say false start.
False start, wow.
Wow. I think they thought free play as well. That's why Quatrin went up the far sideline there for Landon Neely. But instead, 3rd and 3 will become 3rd and 8. Yeah, over 1,000 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. We do appreciate you being with us. Please share the feed around with your friends and family in the Fort Worth and Frisco communities. Fort Worth and Frisco showing out for us tonight here on Friday Night Football. We appreciate you guys pushing that number so far northward. Go ahead and help us push it even higher. We appreciate it. 3rd down and 8 now after the penalty. Quick roll near side here for Quatrin. Pressured, fires, incomplete over the head of Neely, and it's 4th down.
And looking at it, look at this, Mike. They're dialing up more pressure. They've given Mateo Quatrin a few breaks there, and keeping the pressure off of him. And they're like, look, this is what we're going to do. Keith Guidry, he's coming up from his free safety position to put pressure on and forcing a 4th down and punting.
If I counted correctly, there 7 Yellow Jackets rushed on that play, forcing the throw to the near sideline by Quatrin, and they'll have to punt it away once again. Goldman has punted well tonight. Another good kick here, fielded at the 16-yard line by Bisco. He must have called for a fair catch, and
no, Bisco. So
did Guidry call it?
Guidry called for the fair catch, and I think Bisco is going to talk to him about this and tell him, man, don't do that, okay? Because I have an opportunity to make a play, and I guess that's when you got 2 guys back there to catch a punt. Because Tamir Briscoe was not going to call for a fair catch, and we saw him on the kickoff return. That was for naught. He just has that big playmaking ability.
With that, they'll start at their own 21-yard line, 1st and 10. Orozco in shotgun as he's been most of the night. Play action fake there for Furch, rolling out, firing near side. Dangerous. Good fight by Bisco to get back to the football and nearly make the catch on a pass that could have been intercepted, and it falls harmlessly incomplete.
And I don't know if this gets caught in the wind or that's just a bad ball, but I tell you, that just stays in the air for so long. We've seen those throws from this side of the field when they get stuck up in the air, and it's an ugly pass.
It's a throw that I think didn't come out of Orozco's hand clean, and I think on a normal, calm night, he probably gets away with that better than he did just there, but that ball getting caught in the wind is going to flutter even more than it normally would, and it falls incomplete. Now the handoff here from Monroe, hopping his way over the pile. Rather, it's Furch on the carry, picks up about 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and that's why I like to see Furch on 1st down get that run and maybe try and get something going in the air. Your running game really is what brought you here, and I understand they're trying to keep this Frisco Independence defense on their heels, but get behind these guys, man. Brandon Monroe and Brian Furch have been doing damage on the ground.
Furch with the carry here on 3rd and 6, trying to run his way through some arm tackles, but Chase Warren held on. And it's going to be 4th down, and out comes the punting unit once again here with Alberto Chavoya.
You can tell there's some frustration right there by Brian Furch. And he and Matthew Goldman have been meeting up a ton. And finally, Chase Warren comes over to help and get a tackle as well. But these are 2 defenders that have been draped all over Brian Furch this entire game.
So Chavoya to punt it away. Elijah Knott standing at midfield. Some contact on the punter, no flag. It was gentle contact, and the punt falls dead at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, when you have a punter that's built like a tank, he's not gonna move a lot of stuff like that. I've seen guys try and sail that, and that's what you got to do. At least try and sail that running into the punter, but he didn't. He was able to get that punt off, and obviously, we've seen this Yellow Jackets defense, man. They've been doing one heck of a job.
Frisco Independence comes out on the field now offensively. They have a 50-member senior class. Think about that for a second. 50 seniors on the roster this year. Of their 22 starters offensively and defensively, 20 of those 22 kids are seniors. They're trying to get a win tonight, and one of those seniors, Quatrin, going up the far sideline, just overshoots his intended target, McKendon West.
Yeah, McKendon West, we've seen him. He's come down with a special. He's the reason why they were able to get down into the red zone and get the score to end the first half, but that's just another one of those balls that he cannot get back to. We saw him make an adjustment and track it really well in the first half, but that's just overthrown.
Beg your pardon, Mackenzie West, the sophomore wide receiver, one of the very few non-senior starters on this Frisco Independence Knights team. The only offensive starter that isn't a senior. And now another timeout burned here by Arlington Heights. Not yet 6 minutes into the third quarter, and they have just one timeout remaining in this football game. Tyler P. in the YouTube comment says, in Fort Myers, Florida, rooting on his baby brother, number 10, Kellen Petrie, says he'll bring the boom. Kelsey K. in the YouTube comment says, let's go Knights. Brian says, let's go defense. I'm not sure if that was when Independence had the ball or Arlington Heights had the ball,
right.
But Viral Logic Comet 7, interesting username, says all seniors for their season to end tonight is crazy. Evidently an Arlington Heights fan, hoping that this 13-7 lead will hold for the Yellow Jackets. Bob Dunphy says, we even stream the Delkus in Florida. Talking about our weatherman, Pete Delkus is watching from the Florida Gulf Coast. After Ian a month ago, after dealing with Hurricane Ian, says, go Connor Stevenson, number 86. Go Heights, he says. We appreciate you guys all tuning in tonight here on the WFA YouTube channel. Again, well over 1,000 of you with us now. Again, please share the feed around. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Is out of the timeout. 2nd and 10. Pressure again on Quatrin, and down he goes.
And I love Mateo Quatrin as a quarterback. Done some really good things to get his team here in the playoffs. But I tell you what, you cannot hesitate with this Yellow Jackets defense. They are putting too much pressure on you to try and go to your third read. You've got to try and get this ball off so that you don't take any negative yards, man. Throw it away. You know, if it's not there, throw the ball away, because this sets you up into pretty, unfavorable field position. And now you're going to have to do something big time to get these chains to move.
Aaron Barbie's 4th sack of the year sets up 3rd down and 14. Quick throw far side. That is dropped in the bucket for Mackenzie West, and West is going to break away and score. 60 yards on the hookup from Quatrin to the sophomore Mackenzie West, and we're tied at 13.
Hey, you talk about all the seniors that's on this team. Mackenzie West must be pretty good to be the only sophomore out there. What a throw by Mateo Quatrin. Hearing me say, look, you're going to have to come up with something big to move these chains. He had something even bigger planned, and that's a go ball to the outside for number 21, Mackenzie West. And here we are. The Independence Knights lead this game.
60 yards up the sideline from Quatrin to Mackenzie West. You can't drop the ball in the bucket better than this. Right on the money. And West breaks the tackle and scores. Independence with their first lead of the night, mid-third quarter on Friday Night Football.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
Mateo Quatrin to Mackenzie West on a 60-yard touchdown hookup up the left sideline. And Frisco Independence, the Knights, with their first lead of the football game, 14-13, with 5:33 to play in quarter number 3. Little pop fly kickoff, bobbled, but eventually caught on the far sideline by Micah Powell on the fair catch. And out comes the Yellow Jackets offense once again, but for the first time today, Hackma Harrison having to play from behind.
I am shocked. I mean, Mateo Quatrin drops the ball in the honey hole. He gets that in to Mackenzie West. Man, what a throw to the sideline. I mean, immediately I'm saying to myself, I'm like, wow, what a response. Get that ball into the sophomore. It looked like they had perfect coverage on the outside. Hunter is over there, but nonetheless, Mackenzie West makes a spectacular play on the ball, and here we are, the Knights up by a point.
Fighting his way through the pile is Furch on the first play of the possession for the Yellow Jackets. Give him 2 on the carry. He's got 2 touchdowns on the day, his 23rd and 24th of the year. It has not been a day, though, where either Furch nor Monroe has really been able to get loose for big chunks of yardage. They've really had to kind of slog their way for 3 and 4 and the occasional 6. They've had to be methodical with their approach, and unfortunately for the Yellow Jackets, a lot of their drives, because of penalties, as we see another one right here, they haven't been able to sustain those drives going little chunks at a time all the way down the field.
Yeah, and Mike, it's been a bend but don't break approach from the Frisco Independence defense. They've done a good job of bottling these guys up. Colton Banks and Keith Rockwell, the linebackers internally, and they just been doing, and Matthew Goldman. Can't say enough about the job that he's doing up front. Chase Warren said his name continuously, and the job that these guys are doing. You have these big time running backs that you're trying to get down. They're very physical, but when they're behind the chains, that's when you take a lot of the danger out for these guys.
2nd down and 13, quick throw near side. Bisco makes the grab.
Boy, they needed that.
That's going to earn back a big chunk of it out to the 31-yard line. It makes 3rd down much more manageable. It'll be about 3rd and 4.
Yeah, they needed that. They needed Tamir Bisco. He is their big playmaker. We've seen from the beginning, he's opened this game up with some deep over routes to start the game. But now, if you're the Yellow Jackets, you've got to stay true to who you are. I mean, here you are in the 3rd quarter. You're down by a point. You just got to stay with your game plan.
Quick throw again near side. Bisco on the catch, spins away, and then gets hammered right at the 35-yard line. Chase Warren made him pay for fighting for extra yards.
Yes, he did.
They will give him forward progress, though, in the 1st down.
Yeah, and he spins him right into a headache. Into Chase Warren does McKendon Brown. That is a 1st down pickup that this Yellow Jacket squad needed.
Spun him right into a car accident. I mean, that was aggressive from Chase Warren, all 6'3", 250 of them. Now the handoff here for Furch. Nice move right in the hole up the near sideline. Out across midfield and another 1st down.
What did I tell you about Furch? He's one of those guys that he gets stronger as the game goes. He doesn't mind those carries for just 1 yard. He is looking for something just like this because he can rattle off those yards for you, man. This game isn't over. Again, for the Independence Knights, they're going to have to continue to try and get stops against this running back group that they know these guys are running downhill, and you got the 4th quarter coming.
We don't have the luxury of stats tonight, but that may have been the longest run of the night for Brian Furch. Now the ball's on the deck. Loose, still loose. Pounced on. Independence football. The Knights defense comes up with a huge play, and out of the pile with the ball is Matthew Goldman.
And look at this run at the end. That is working and punching it out, coming from behind. That's number 20.
Colt Petty with the strip.
Yeah, Colt Petty comes up from behind and strips that ball out of the arms of Brandon Monroe. I know Monroe is upset with himself, and even Tamir Bisco had an opportunity to get on that fumble, and it just squirts out from underneath him. And here the Knights have another opportunity up by a score to put some more points on the board.
3:18 here in the 3rd quarter. It's Petty with the forced fumble, Goldman with the fumble recovery, and here come the Knights once again with momentum firmly on their side. Neely on the reception, ripped down after a gain of 5.
That's a name we hadn't said since the first half. Chavoya. Talk about running into a car wreck. I'm back at Chavoya, man. We've seen him go sideline to sideline. These guys are very aggressive. Let's see if they dial up some more pressure on Mateo. They can't allow him to be, get comfortable, because we see what kind of arm he has, especially on the delivery to Mackenzie West.
2nd down and 5. He'll roll near side right into the pressure of Mencken, but throws complete to Austin Call. He'll get right to the 40-yard stripe. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
And I think they'll take 3rd and 2. They have been coming. The big play that they made to Mackenzie West was on a 3rd and 14. I think 3rd and 2 is a lot more manageable for this Knight squad.
They look far side to offensive coordinator Chase Adams. Third down and really more like 3 as they set it back at the 39-yard line. Quattrin far side, incomplete. Diving, trying to make the grab was West, but he couldn't haul it in, and it's 4th down.
And Mateo Quattrin on the run, trying to deliver this ball, rolling to his left. That's a lot harder than it looks. And just not able to stick the ball on him, and here we are. The Knights are punting.
Matthew Goldman out to punt it away once again. Tamir Bisco deep to return. Keith Guidry, the short punt returner. Bisco saying, hey, don't call fair catch. I mean, it's a fake punt. Goldman coming near side. He won't get there. The tackle made on the near sideline. He's short of the line to gain by a yard. Officials still discussing on the near sideline. But the far sideline judge has him clearly short. It is going to be Arlington Heights football at the 41 on Frisco Independence's side of the field.
What a gutsy call. 1, to go for a fake punt, but 2, why now? You're in a situation, I guess you don't want these guys to get the ball back, but if you don't pick that up, that 1st down up, boy, you are giving new life to this Yellow Jacket squad. Man, I guess that's why I'm up here in the booth with you, Mike.
Alberto Chavoya with the tackle at the 41 to cut him down shy of the line to gain. And like you said, you had all the momentum if you're Frisco Independence. And you kind of just gave it away. Handoff here for Furch, running near side. Furch inside the 30. Furch in a foot race up the sideline. Stiff arms inside the 5. Touchdown, Arlington Heights. Brian Furch, 41 yards on the first play of the possession, and Heights has the lead again.
Brian Furch is like a Hummer. This guy is not going to be denied of the goal line. And you can tell these guys are trying to hang on to him. Michael Lyons, there's no way he is going to bring down Brian Furch. No way. You could tell once he got through the crowd, they were not going to bring down Brian Furch. Man, that is a way to respond for the Yellow Jackets.
They do elect to kick the PAT and make it a 6-point lead, 20-14 as Chavoya puts it through. And the play after the fake punt failed, here goes Brian Furch for his 3rd touchdown run of the day, his 25th of the year. Get off me. Heights with the lead again.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Brian Furch is loose at Farrington Field. 3 touchdown runs on the night. The last one there from 41 yards away, and it's 20-14. High pooch kick, dangerous. Fielded at the 37-yard line, and they will throw a flag for fair catch interference here against Arlington Heights. That was nearly a disaster. Honestly, a great catch by Tyler Marshall. That's going to set up Independence with great field position here.
Tell you what, Tyler Marshall is used to playing in traffic because that is a ball that he's got a lot of people coming at him, and he's able to come down with it.
You got some gumption to step up there and make that catch.
Yes.
Wow.
Whew. Great job of calling the fair catch as well and getting the penalty. Going to give up some favorable yards to the Knights.
Mm-hmm. I will say Kellen Petrie and Keith Guidry both tried to kind of hold up at the end, realized what was going on, but just didn't fully gear down and stay off of them. And the 15-yard penalty is going to bring it out to the 48-yard line. Great field position here for Frisco Independence, but heck, we've got to talk about it. Now having to bounce back from what was honestly a questionable decision there to go for that fake punt when it seemed like all of the momentum was on Independence's side of the field. Even despite getting stopped there on third down, they still had the better of play here in this second half, and they just gift Arlington Heights the football at the 41-yard line. That ball high, nearly intercepted, incomplete. Cam Coleman was thinking he had his second interception of the day.
Yeah. No, he really was. Cam Coleman is sitting out there on an island by himself, and if Landon Neely doesn't get his hand up and tip that ball, he is walking to the pylon. But, look, I always think, my saying is hindsight is 20/20, and maybe in a situation like that, Coach Stokes thought that he saw something that could get them the first down, identifying, trying to steal some momentum and not allow this Yellow Jacket squad back on the field. Boy, they are going for it on the pass to Mateo Quatrin.
He had Neely behind the defense, but Neely couldn't quite track it down. Give you a look at it there.
And they are going after Cam Coleman on the outside. Looks like Cam Coleman goes out with an arm injury.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10 now. Looking far side. Now he's going to try and take off and run for it. Got some pressure there. Run out of bounds. He will not have enough for the first down. He gets into Arlington Heights territory. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 48. It's going to be, I believe, 4th down, correct? And
Should
6.
Be 4th.
Yeah. Yes, 4th down and 6. Yeah.
And I tell you what, the Yellow Jackets get lucky right here because Mateo Quatrin looks like he's out of bounds when he gets tackled. Lucky that a flag doesn't come in there to give them a first down.
So now on 4th and 6, instead of bringing the punt unit out, they're going to go for it again here on 4th down. Instead of going with the fake punt, they're going to leave Quatrin and the offense out there. They've got to get to the 42 in Arlington Heights territory to pick up the first down. Quatrin pressured, now going to try and get out the back door. No way he's going to get there. They had guys blanketed on his far side where he was going to try and complete the pass. Great defense from Arlington Heights. They get the 4th down stop and take the football back again.
I trust that Mateo Quatrin, we've seen him deliver some balls into some really tight places, but right now the Yellow Jackets defense, that's basically essentially a coverage sack. Because before they were playing a lot of man, they're backing off in zone. And I'm not saying that Mateo Quatrin can't read that, but they know exactly where they're trying to go in that situation. They force, they force the fourth and out. They're going out here and putting the Yellow Jackets back on the field offensively where they have all of the momentum going in on their side.
Nice move in the backfield there by First to make the first man miss and at least pick up a couple on the first play of the offensive possession into Frisco Independence territory. And again, just being totally honest here, it's back-to-back questionable calls there on 4th down plays for Frisco Independence. The fake punt and then the decision to go for it there on 4th down and 6. Independence had all of the momentum about 4 minutes ago, and it has evaporated. And now Arlington Heights with the lead by 6 and another chance here. Orozco's going to keep it himself, coming near side, well defended there. Taken down on the near side by Colton Banks.
This defense, Colton Banks, also Colt Petty, number 20. These guys are doing a wonderful job of just attacking. They know that they are going to rely heavily on this running game. And if you could just get a guy out on the outside to get some stops against Tamir Biscoe, you may be doing okay. I would definitely double team number 7 on the outside. I would not leave him on an island by himself, because when they want to pick up 5-10 yards, they're going to that side.
Orozco looked that way, now has to go back far side, nearly intercepted. There in coverage for Independence was Cooper Kroll, and he had a chance at it. The third down stop here for the Knights, and they'll force the punt.
Oh, that's a dangerous throw. That is a dangerous throw by Eric Orozco, and he is lucky that he doesn't get that one picked off.
Rakenyo Walker in the comments says, "A Heights, come on boys, stay focused. Let's get this win." Cheering on Arlington Heights tonight. The Yellow Jackets have to punt it away though, and back out is Shavoya. No pressure this time. Line drive punt up the far hash will bounce inside the 30-yard line and nestled down to the 24. And back comes Mateo Quatrin and this Frisco Independence offense. So for all of the uneasiness for the Knights over the course of the last 3 or 4 minutes worth of game time, Heckma Harrison, they've at least somewhat gotten away with it. Of course, the 41-yard touchdown run by Brian Furch, stealing the lead back for Arlington Heights, doesn't help the cause for Frisco Independence, but to get the stop there defensively gives their offense a chance back here late third quarter and into the fourth to try and answer back.
Yeah, Mateo Quatrin just has to get back in rhythm. We've seen at times in the ball game where he's gotten out of rhythm. He is a guy, again, it doesn't take but a couple of throws to get him back going. The senior, the end of the first half, obviously capped off the drive with the touchdown throw.
Far side, nearly intercepted, looking for Mackenzie West, and it looked like there was a little miscommunication there between Quatrin and West.
Again, that's another one of those balls that he is lucky to get back, because that one goes out of bounds, but it looks like they had a guy underneath. They're doing a good job right now as this Yellow Jackets defense of switching up coverage.
Second down and 10. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Quatrin rolling near side. Has a man downfield. Ranging up to make the grab was Neely on the near sideline. They'll mark him out of bounds right at the 34. That's right at the sticks.
Yeah, and I think they're going to... I thought they were going to give him the first down, and it looks like they are.
They do, yes. Shout out to Uncle Jimmy Welch in Keller, letting us know that he's tuning in to see his sister-in-law's boy, Connor Stevenson, number 86 for Arlington Heights tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Final play probably of the third quarter. Quick swing near far side here for Enyuribe. Maybe a gain of 5 out to the 39-yard line, and that will bring the third quarter to a close. A good quarter for Frisco Independence to get back in this football game, but Arlington Heights answers back with the 41-yard touchdown run from Brian Furch, and they lead it 20-14 as we head to the fourth on Friday Night Football.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic, but hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Over 1,100 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel for Friday Night Football. Frisco Independence and Arlington Heights in a close one as we start the fourth here at Farrington Field. 20-14, the Yellow Jackets with the lead. 3 Brian Furch touchdown runs to lead by 6 as we open up the final frame. Independence with the football. Quatrin in shotgun here on 2nd down and 5. Motion man is West. They'll give it to him here on jet motion, coming far side, hopping over the pile, and may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Did the ball come out? Yes, it did. Recovered on the far sideline by Arlington Heights. Pouncing on the football for the Yellow Jackets is Keith Guidry, and it's Arlington Heights football.
And how about that for Guidry? They are reading this getting to the outside, and that ball, he hurdles, and look at the strip. Ball is out. And Keith Guidry with the turnover for the Yellow Jackets. Man, they needed that to start this fourth quarter.
I wonder, Clay Marshall, our director, can we get one more look at that? I'm curious your opinion, Heckma. Is this a situation where maybe this play could have been blown dead because his forward progress is stopped, held up here?
Ball's out. Ball's out.
But when?
Yeah,
it's hard to tell exactly when the football was out, but on the field, ruled a fumble, and here comes Arlington Heights once again. Furch tripped up in the hole.
They're going with an end around for Mackenzie West. He hurdles the pile, and ball comes out, and I tell you what, without having the benefit of the angle on that side, we don't know.
Yeah. Second down and 6. Furch on the carry once again, spinning his way to the 30-yard line. Anthony Jacobs in the YouTube comment says the difference between this Heights team and teams of the past is they know how to finish. He said he's predicting a big fourth quarter from Arlington Heights. They've already started it strong, forcing the fumble, the recovery by Keith Guidry, and now they've got the ball at the 30-yard line in Independence territory, threatening to go up 2 scores.
And what they've got to do right now is they have got to pick up a first down. And I dare say that you're in 4-down territory if you're the Yellow Jackets.
They've got to get to the 26 to get that first down. Handoff Furch right up the gut, squirts his way through the hole. He'll have the first down. The near side line judge has him inside the 31. That'll be enough to move the chains.
Boy, that was close. I thought they were going to measure it. They do not, but they're going to give him the first down. Looked like he was right at yard to gain. That's a first down for the Yellow Jackets. Like I said, that was much needed.
The fact that they backed it up to the 31, though, makes you think that maybe they should have measured. The near side line judge had him at about the 30.5-yard line. Orozco's going to keep it this time, try to get the corner, run out of bounds after a pickup of about 4. But if they were going to move it back to the 31, that was right where they had to get to. I'm surprised that they didn't bring the sticks out.
No, it looked close. You saw where the judge on that, where the referee on that side was when he placed his foot down. It was right at the yard marker. So, again, nonetheless, here we are at second down.
2nd and 6 officially. Orozco with Furch. Taking the handoff, coming near side. Colt Petty dragging on his back as he gets down to the 20-yard line. Give him 3 more on the carry. It'll be 3rd and 3.
And look at how strong this guy is. And you're dragging on him, and just hard to bring him down. So physical of a running back. Again, this third down, another third down. They get there so fast because they're going so fast, not really getting deep into the play clock before they get the snap off.
3rd and about 3.5 maybe. They've got to get between the 16 and the 17-yard line for a first down. Monroe and Furch in the backfield. Monroe's going to take the carry this time. Following Furch has the first down and then some inside the 15.
If the formula works, just continue to go back to it. You know, look at the way that they're getting up the field, and you see it right there from Brian Furch. We've seen him be a lead blocker before, and both of these guys, they do it for one another, but that's a good job right there by Brian Furch and Gabe McClellan.
1st and 10 at the 14. Orozco looking near side. Offensive coordinator Kai Kelm as they switch things up. About to tick down to 9 minutes remaining in this football game. Monroe on the carry, running left side. Monroe into the free. Touchdown, Arlington Heights. A 2-score lead for the Yellow Jackets.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Here he goes again as the lead back. Brian Furch getting through, and Gabe McClellan. This offensive line doing a wonderful job. Ben Campos on the outside and Braylon Stewart. These offensive linemen have been blocking it up this entire game for their running backs.
They're going to go for 2 here and try and establish a 14-point lead. Orozco, hands here for Furch. Flag on the play. Furch did get in. But it looks like they're going to have to give this another shot, and I wonder if the 5-yard penalty or perhaps even 10-yard penalty may cause Phil Young to think about kicking the PAT.
I think they're going to get number 79, Braylon Stewart, on the hold.
Oh, it's going to be a chop block, a personal foul, so a 15-yard penalty. It was on that far side of the offensive line that they threw the flag. So now they are going to have to try and kick the PAT, but this is now going to turn into a lengthy PAT, equivalent to a 35-yard field goal. That's actually farther than a pro PAT.
Well, do you have the benefit of the wind from earlier? Maybe that helps you.
Snap is good. Hold is down. Chavoya's PAT from way out is good.
How about that?
27-14 the tally. And a 2-score lead for the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets. Brandon Monroe says, hey, Brian Furch, let me get in on the act, would you? He finds the end zone as well. And the Yellow Jackets in control with 9 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. One more look as Monroe
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Brandon Monroe with the touchdown run to make it 27-14. I don't know why they aren't covering that football. That's going to be a touchdown. It's going to be Arlington Heights football. It won't be a touchdown, but that's going to be Arlington Heights football at the 1-yard line. Nobody from Frisco Independence went to cover the kickoff. And Arlington Heights jumps on top of it. It's Yellow Jackets ball, 1st and goal at the 1. What on earth is Frisco Independence doing? And heads up play by Keith Guidry, who recovered the fumble just moments ago on defense, now recovers the best onside kick in the history of high school football, and it's 1st and goal at the 1.
Like, there are a few times where I'm speechless, and that's a situational awareness situation. You're on the kickoff team. You understand kickoff return. That ball is live. It's all of them are live. That's the easiest touchdown giveaway for Frisco Independence. That's Mike. That's hard to call right there.
Furch with his 4th touchdown run of the day. An absolute gift from Frisco Independence. You and I are both sitting here speechless on that one. An unbelievable turn of events. This was a close, knockdown, drag-out type of football game about 4 minutes ago. The fumble, the quick touchdown run from Brandon Monroe, then that on the kickoff. They go for 2 here. Orozco won't find the end zone, so it'll stay 33-14, but still a 3-score lead nonetheless for Arlington Heights. And let's hang here and talk about this a little bit more, Heckma Harrison, because that is an unbelievable.
Yeah,
I don't know how you call it anything other than a mistake. I'm trying to be kind here, but that is a mistake that you just cannot make.
Yeah, first rule you're taught on kickoff return is that is a live ball, and that's a gimme right there. You don't have any independent night around the ball. And so even as a return guy, you understand that you have to get on. Even if you call fair catch, that doesn't kill the play. You have to get on top of the ball. Like you said, that is the easiest onside kick in the history of high school football. And I don't understand what they were thinking right there. I'm sure the coaches, there's no way they don't teach that. There's no way they don't teach that. That is just I'll call it brain fog. I'll call it what it is. It's just That's a mistake.
Fielded this time at the 4-yard line on the near sideline. Undercut, though, immediately was Landon Neely. And Arlington Heights can taste it now with a 3-score lead and under 9 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Brandon Monroe ran for a touchdown to make it 27-14 with 9 minutes left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Brian Furch ran for his 4th touchdown of the day at the 8:56 mark of the fourth quarter. And this game just got completely turned on its ear.
Yeah, unbelievable change of events. You talk about the last 4 minutes, this being a dogfight, and just that moment right there by Frisco Independence. What a miscue.
Quick throw far side as now the Knights have to try and gather themselves somehow. Austin Call on the receiving end has the first down. They were already in a bad spot, down 27-14, but now they're in a world of hurt.
Well, here it is. You're 8:44 here in the fourth. So we've seen them try and get up, put some more points on the board. Maybe they can try and pick up some more first downs. I just don't want to say that this is a hopeless situation for the Independence Knights, but, man, I'm still really speechless from that kickoff.
They need an awful lot to go right for them here over the final 8:37. That is absolutely the case. 3 touchdowns down. They do have the benefit of Arlington Heights missing the earlier PAT and then failing on the 2-point conversion moments ago, that if they were so fortunate to have scored 3 touchdowns here in the final 8:37, if they convert on their PATs, they'd actually lead the game, but there's a long way between here and there for Nick Stokes' Independence Knights.
Didn't see a flag come out, but it looks, well, they just stopped play.
They're going to get a delay game.
Okay. Wow. Wow. You know, Mike, we've got a lot of games. I don't think we've seen a team come unraveled the way that Independence has here in the last 5 minutes.
Comment from our very own Joe Trahan about a minute ago here in the WFA YouTube thread, saying we'll see you in a few minutes here on high school game night. As another fumble, this time pounced on by Ian Foytik, the right guard for Frisco Independence. Quatron had it stripped out as he was sacked from behind there by Aaron Barbie. It's going to be 3rd down and 21.
And we talked a lot about this Yellow Jackets defense and the job that they've done. And look, you can't give these guys this kind of opportunity to, make these kinds of mistakes. They will make you pay for it. Just, Mateo has done a really good job, man. He's tried to make some throws into some tight spaces, but he can't do it all by himself.
He had nowhere to go on that one, just throws it away, and it's 4th down and 21. And Independence, I mean, at this point, you're down 19 and there's 7:52 left. You're really not in a situation where you even can afford to punt the ball away. So they are going to go for it here. They have to get all the way out to the 35-yard line in order to pick up a first down. Quatron will have 2 wides to his right, 2 to his left, and Uday Enyuribe behind him in the pistol. Stepping up, he's going to try and run for it. He's got a long way to go. Gets to the near sideline, will not have enough for a first down. And you can see the frustration on the far sideline for Frisco Independence. It was such a great start, Heckma Harrison, to this second half for Frisco Independence, and it has all gone sideways for them.
No, it really has. And again, I think for both of us, Mike, we're both as shocked here because we saw a game, especially here in the start of the second half, that this Independence Knights team came out of halftime getting that score to go into half, and then responding with that long play to Mackenzie West from Mateo Quatron. They had a lot of good things happening for them. This defense was playing, and then it was the fake punt. It's the going for it on fourth down. All of those things just started to culminate the mistakes that they were starting to make, and I just think it turned this game on its ear in favor of the Yellow Jackets. And I guess the Yellow Jackets say thank you. Send you a Christmas note for your Christmas card for making those kinds of mistakes. But we just hadn't seen that. The other part about it was I was all ready to say, look, man, for the Yellow Jackets, they burnt their timeouts. They're only down to one timeout here in the second half, and it looked like that's all the momentum that the Independence Knights needed. But no, everything that they've done here in the second half has been self-inflicted.
Handoff here for Monroe. He'll be about a yard shy. It'll be 3rd and 1. I'll say this. Nick Stokes, in his first year as head coach for Frisco Independence, has done a nice job this year. Took over a team that went 3-7 last year. They've bounced back in a big way behind this massive senior class. Went 8-2. They were in football games with Argyle and Frisco Emerson, the two teams that beat them this year, that ended up as the 1 and 2 seeds out of their district. They had a nice year this year, but I think he wants that fake punt call back because that's really, if you want to find a turning point in this football game, that's where this game went on tilt for Frisco Independence. 3rd and 1, handoff here for Furch. Eric Orozco certainly thinks that he has the first down.
It's right at the marker. Now, that's just like it was before, where I thought they were going to have to come out and measure, and
they give it to him once again.
Wow.
1st and 10 now at the 16, and the clock will wind past the midway point here of quarter number 4, and Arlington Heights is inching closer to a win that these kids will remember for quite some time on their home field here in the opening round of the UIL playoffs. Monroe on the handoff. Big hole up the left side. He will score. 2nd touchdown run of the day for Brandon Monroe. Flag on the play behind the touchdown run. A. Heights was ready to begin the celebration, but the hold will bring the touchdown run off the board.
Hey, there's wide open, and then there's 2 wide open, and I think that's what it was.
So that'll bring the ball all the way back to the 22-yard line.
And back to your point, Mike, I think you make a great point about Frisco Independence and Stokes in his first season. They had to go through an Argyle team that obviously is on a major role right now, and also Emerson. This is a good football team. They've had to overcome a lot, and those 2 teams that they lost to are some really, really good teams in their division. You're right, though. Golly,
look at this run from Brian Furch, still dragging tacklers inside the 10-yard line. That's a 13-yard run, and I'll bet 11 of it came with 2 guys on his back.
I'm trying to make a point here, Brian Furch, but he's like, how about this? He is a forklift, taking people with him, running to the chains.
Michael Lyons got dragged for like 6 or 7 yards.
Michael Lyons was a backpack for a lot of that carries. So it's hard to bring this guy down.
My man said he's a backpack.
He is a backpack.
2nd down and 2. After the 13-yard run by Furch, they're going to give it to him again. 1 cut upfield. He's got the first down. It'll be 1st and goal.
My goodness, man, what a running back. He is a throwback. He is a throwback. And a guy that, we talked about it earlier, just his big play ability. You saw him rattle off that big run on that score. I told you, man, he's a guy who just continues to get strong. We've talked about so many great athletes. We've gone all around the state looking at these great athletes. He is going to be amongst them. I won't forget this guy, man. He's definitely destined for the next level.
He just got his first Division I offer from Austin Peay recently. You got to imagine more are coming as he knifes his way up the middle for touchdown run number 5 of the day. Brian Furch says, we're not done at Arlington Heights. They're ready to move on to the second round.
That's it. This run right here is the signature moment for the entire game. That is give me all of that. And everybody's coming with me. We've seen him drag people, put them on his back literally, and he takes James Dewberry into the end zone with him. What a night for number 22, Brian Furch.
Extra point is up and through. 40-14, Arlington Heights, with all 6 touchdowns coming on the ground, 5 of them courtesy of big number 22. They're ready to move on to the area round of the playoffs.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Not that long ago, it was 14-13 Frisco Independence, 27 unanswered from the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets. Brian Furch with 3 touchdown runs, Brandon Monroe squeezing one in there himself midway through, and it is 40-14. As we return from break, there is a player remaining down after the PAT. It is an Independence night, but he's been so surrounded by training staff we haven't been able to pick up a number. Certainly appears that the player is face down on the turf. Now they're beginning to get the Independence night player back on his feet, or at least to his knees, it appears. Still haven't been able to catch a number with how surrounded he is.
Yeah, he's pretty wobbly. You can tell he's
you hate to see how unstable he appears to be right now. If I'm seeing correctly, I think that's Colton Banks, number 33, that now is, honestly, it's encouraging to see him walking off under his own power like that. For a moment there, he did look quite wobbly, but now seems to have at least regained his balance. Banks has made some nice plays tonight.
No, he really has. From the linebacker position, I talked about him and Keith Rockwell. They have been responsible for some of the earlier stops. This Independence Knights defense has done a really good job. Other than that first half, they responded. They came right back. They've gotten some stops. Obviously, just some moments here in this game where, you know, for this defense just will put in some really bad positions in a short field.
Fair catch called for and made by Landon Neely at his own 4-yard line. Brian Furch's stat line tonight: 31 carries, 148 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, that is a Brian Furch stat. 31 carries.
Meanwhile, Brandon Monroe, another 14 for 83 and his 1 touchdown tonight. In total on the night, Fort Worth Arlington Heights with 236 rushing yards. Eric Orozco had a dozen himself on 7 carries. There was the one Tamir Bisco kind of trick play that went for a loss of 7. So all but 5 of the rushing yards today for Fort Worth Arlington Heights coming from their 2 stud running backs. Nice play up the far sideline. Finally, for the first time really today, Uday Enyuribe is loose. Gets into Arlington Heights territory at the 45-yard line off the screen play.
And they've ran this play a couple of times, just getting him out into the flat and just wanting him to create something. And for the first time, we obviously see what the ideal was for the pick up the big gainer.
They'll officially mark him at the 46, 1st and 10 from there. Quattrin to the air. And Uribe once again on the screen, this time defended very well. It's Chavoya with the tackle, but there's a flag back behind the play. I think they're going to get Henry Mankin for a roughing the passer penalty.
Mankins has Marlon Hurst draped all over him, but you're right, they're going to get the roughing the passer versus Mankin. And there have been several times where I've seen Mankins pull up.
The penalty is going to bring the ball all the way down to the 31-yard line. It was outside the frame on the replay by the time the impact from Mankin happened. But the flag draws a 15-yard penalty, and it's 1st and 10 at the 31. 3:15 and moving here in the 4th. Got a question here in the YouTube comments from LaShun Cleve saying, what game are y'all thinking about doing next week? Still TBD. We'll begin that process really first thing tomorrow morning, figuring that out as the ball goes up the near sideline, complete to Mackenzie West. That is a talented young sophomore that has made some plays tonight, and it's going to be 1st and goal for Frisco Independence.
Look at this tracking ability by Mackenzie West. You see why, out of all these seniors out here, why this sophomore is on the field, and it's for reasons just like that. His ability to go up and get the ball, high point the ball, come down with it. We've seen him do that several times tonight.
He'll go in motion here on 1st and goal. They'll swing it his way, and he couldn't haul it in. He tried to kind of one-hand it. Quattrin was hopping up and down, wondering why not just squeeze that with 2 hands. And I mean, it was a little bit to his right, to be fair. But he had a walk-in touchdown if he caught it.
He literally had a walk-in touchdown right there.
Second and goal from the 2. How about this score? Red Oak 29, Denton Ryan 28. Final in overtime.
I'm sorry, what?
The Denton Ryan Raiders lose in the first round of the playoffs. It's been a long time since we've uttered those words. Quattrin trying to run for it himself. He won't get there. Wrapped up by Kai Brown.
Wait a minute. Did you just say Denton Ryan lost to
Yes,
Red Oak?
I did. 29-28 in overtime. Red Oak out of a deep district then, Midlothian, Lake Belton. There's some good football teams in that district. Ryan was the 3 seed out of their district. Red Oak the 2 seed. At Red Oak, and Ryan gets the win in overtime by 1. Up the middle, and Uribe knifing in to make the tackle. We've seen that today a couple times from Roy Wright. Makes another tackle there. It's going to be 4th and goal as the clock is now under 2.5.
I tell you what, and as a player that comes in that we talked to the coach for the Yellow Jackets, number 56, Tyrese Hunter, 6'1", 360 pounds. I said, well, I guess we'll notice him when he comes in the ball game, and yeah.
He's a big boy in the middle. 4th and goal. Independence trying to get on the board one more time here before the end of this one. Jake Simpson in the corner of the end zone. Did he get a foot down? Yes, he did. Simpson with his 2nd touchdown reception of the day.
Well, that's easy work right there for number 88. And the toe tap.
Touchdown pass makes it 40-20 for the moment. They'll come out to tack on the PAT here. Nathan Anderson to kick the extra point. That makes it 41-21. 3rd time today, Mateo Quattrin has thrown for a touchdown. 2 of them have gone to Jake Simpson. 40-21. Arlington Heights with the lead. Late 4th on Friday Night Football.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, A legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
(40-21), the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets, 1 minute and 49 seconds away from the second round of the bi-district playoffs. What a year it has been for the Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets, 9-1, hosting a playoff game. The best season for this program going back to 2014 when they went 12-1. Look at those three records their last 3 years: 2-8, 3-5, 2-8. And now here they stand, just 109 seconds away from their first playoff win since 2014 when they hung 70 on Burleson Centennial. Onside kick here from Frisco Independence is recovered by the Knights. You can't take it and run with it. We saw that on the bizarre kickoff from Arlington Heights a little bit ago that they recovered at the 1-yard line. You can't take off and run with it. The moment that ball was secured by Jake Simpson at the 46-yard line, it is dead. But it will be Independence football with 1:46 on the clock. Still a 3-score game here with Independence down 19. So they need the miracle to end all miracles to be able to make something happen here in this final $1.46, but they do have the football back.
Yeah, but you can't draw it up any better than that.
No.
As far as an onside kick is concerned, the ball bounces perfectly into the arms of Jake Simpson.
Quick throw near side for Mackenzie West. Ranges up and grabs it, and inside the 20 they go. Mackenzie West can play some football. That young man can go up and snatch it.
I got an idea next year. Just throw the ball to Mackenzie West.
Every down?
Just try. Do everything you can to get number 21 involved.
They're going to go back his way again. End zone. It's squeezed out at the end, incomplete. He had a shot at it. He should have had what would have been his second touchdown of the day.
That's okay. You know what you do? You go right back and you throw the ball to number 21.
If he had caught that, you almost start like, no, it couldn't, right? But
yeah, no, he could.
As long as there's time on the clock, again, they've got Everest still to scale, but I imagine they'll probably go back to 21 again here on 2nd down and 10. He's looking that way. Over the middle this time, up the seam, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, offensively, look, they have needed the big play to bail them out so many times when they've been faced with 3rd and 14. Just to go back to what Mackenzie West did earlier on a perfect pass from Mateo Quatrin. It's been there for him.
3rd down and 10, minute 22 to play. Quatrin facing the blitz over the middle, looking for Simpson, incomplete, nearly picked off. Guidry had a chance at another interception. I should say another turnover. He had the fumble recovery, not one of the interceptions. Cam Coleman, Roy Wright with the 2 interceptions today. And now 4th down and football game for Frisco Independence. 3 timeouts still remaining, but they cannot afford to give it back to Arlington Heights here. Quatrin, end zone again for West. Jump ball. Incomplete. He did squeeze it. They're going to say he didn't get a foot down in bounds. And it will be Yellow Jackets football. And they're about to wrap this thing up. One more look at it as we slow it down
just outside. Man,
it was close enough, and it was worth a look.
It was. I thought it was closer than that, but that's a good ball and catch. Just a little bit out of bounds. But, man, I tell you what, too little too late for the Independence Knights. They tried to battle back into this game. Really impressed, though, with the Yellow Jackets and the job that they did defensively. They got a few gifts, though, tonight, though, Mike. I'm just telling you, there was a part there in the 3rd quarter where they were up against the ropes. But I tell you what, man, Frisco Independence bailed them out, especially, and I think, like you stated before, I think you can start from just the fake punt. That was the area where the wheels started to come off. And here it is again with Furch on a run where he should have been tackled in the backfield, and he's able to rattle off some positive yards as another flag comes in at the end.
Still waiting on our official signal here on what the flag is.
Yeah, and another holding penalty, and that's a lot of the problems that the Yellow Jackets were having to begin this half, were those holding penalties that put them from behind the chains and made life unbearable for them. But again, those mistakes that were made that put them behind and obviously allowed for the Independence Knights to come back and have that 1-point lead at one point in this game. This is how you want to play this Yellow Jackets team and put them behind the chains.
So there you see it. Arlington Heights will advance to face Canutillo in the second round as Furch's carry goes for only about 2 yards. 30 seconds left in this one, but that'll be the matchup. Canutillo and Arlington Heights, they'll play that game out in Odessa next week in the area round of the playoffs.
What a big win, though. What a big win for Arlington Heights. The Yellow Jackets, we talked about this in the open, so happy that we did. A lot of teams, when they get realigned to this Fort Worth district, boy, they think they have the easy out by coming through this district, and they did a good job.
5 touchdown runs on the day for Brian Furch, a massive day. And into the second round go the Yellow Jackets. Eric Orozco, giddy as he makes his way to midfield. A big high five for Keith Guidry. They are fired up within this Arlington Heights program. 2-8, 3-5, 2-8 the last 3 years. Now a 10-win season, 10-1, and moving on to the area round.
I'm just so happy for this team. When talking to Coach Young and all of the things that he talks about this program and his kids, he just glowed about them, glowed about how they worked. And he said that it started against Waco University.
Yeah.
It's like they got down against Waco University and they had to claw back into a game. And he was like, that was the game that I pulled into my driveway and I said to myself, I got something.
Mm-hmm.
I have a team. These guys believe, and that's all it took. And his approach into this, he was like, look, this is a win or go home situation, but I think I have a team. They don't want to go home. They don't want for this to end. And they played like a squad that did not want this to end. The way that they battled, the way that they clawed defensively and offensively, I don't care who you are, where you are. If you're coming up against this Fort Worth Arlington Heights football team, you are going to be in a dogfight for 4 quarters.
Fort Worth ISD, stand up. You could sense it over the course of this week that the entire city, the ISD, was kind of getting behind these guys. Not all that dissimilar to what we saw last year with Dallas ISD and South Oak Cliff. I'm not sure that this is a team that's going to go win a state championship. I'm not going to say they're not, but they're
exactly
a lot.
What you mean.
But just in terms of the way that everybody kind of felt like, hey, these are our guys. This is our team that we're all going to kind of rally behind and support. And we saw that tonight just with how many folks tuned in to see this team be able to hold up that banner as by-district champs and say, hey, we're a Fort Worth ISD football team that just won a playoff game. That's a moment for this program.
As it should be. As it should be. Look, again, Mike, I just go back to how many coaches that we've talked to in this interview process. We want to bring so much to the broadcast to talk about these programs. And Coach Young, man, he is one of those coaches that you could feel his enthusiasm for his team over the phone. And he talked about the words that I always ask this question: what's your mantra? What do you go by? What do you stand for? What if I don't ask you, I ask the last guy on your bench, what is he going to say? And he said, crew. It's commitment, relentless, unselfishness.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they stand for. And you can see the commitment, the relentlessness, and the unselfishness of this team.
What a moment that is as they hold the trophy in the hand in their hands as by-district champs. And you have to imagine the thought going through their minds right now is, hey, we're not done.
No.
Let's go out to Odessa and play Canutillo and see what we can make happen. But Gold Ball season has come to Fort Worth. Phil Young with the trophy in his hand. Arlington Heights with a 40-21 win. And we have to talk about Brian Furch. 32 carries, a $153, and 5 touchdowns on the night. A dominant performance from this senior running back. Brandon Monroe right there with him. 14 for 83 and a touchdown of his own. They stuck to their game plan. Surprised us maybe a little bit in the early going with a couple of deep shots to Demir Bisco, but they very quickly settled into, we are going to run the football right at you. 3 yards, 2 yards, 6 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, and eventually, boom, 41, touchdown, and we're going to put the game away.
And I call it the re-evolution of the running back position. It's so many people try to bypass the running back in all phases. It doesn't matter if it's high school, college, and pros. You see a lot of talk about, these wide open offensive schemes with the read option. You want to win a football game, have a running back. Have some running backs that can do what Furch and Monroe did tonight. You saw how it wore this Independence night team down. What you have to do is when you have, it's not thunder and lightning, I call it thunder and thunder. These guys we couldn't tell one from another, but it's 1 yard, 2 yards, and again, it's the 15-yard carry, it's the 20-yard touchdown run that you have, because after a while, defenders get tired of running into that brick wall. And when we were seeing these guys fall, they're falling forward. They're not falling backwards. And anytime you think you have these guys for a loss, you don't. If it wasn't for, and that's what I think one thing that Coach Young is obviously going to talk to his squad about all week. We cannot kill ourselves, guys. We can't have these holding penalties. And they had plenty of them, okay? They had plenty of penalties that set them from behind the chains. But as a team that runs the ball, they are going to be dangerous. And then their next opponent, they're going to watch this broadcast. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, boy, you better put your hard hat on because they have 2 running backs that just continuously come after you. I am so proud of this team and just the performance. I'm proud of Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Because what I think has been unfair is the perception that you can play against these Fort Worth teams and just walk your way into the playoffs. And I think teams have found out that there's a new day, and it's starting with this Arlington Heights team. The Yellow Jackets just came out here, and they put on one heck of a performance. On the other side for the Frisco Independence, we talked about all the seniors that they have. Really just want to tell these guys what a heck of a season that they had. Hold their heads up. They played with a lot of class and a lot of character tonight. They went through a very tough division with the likes of Lake Dallas, Emerson, and Argyle. They had a tough way to get to the playoffs, and they got here.
A direct quote from Arlington Heights head coach Phil Young. We're a little brother that's grown up. It's us against the world. Tonight, they're winners, and they're moving on to the area round with a 40-21 win and a dominant performance offensively and defensively. They really made plays on both sides of the ball. It got a little bit hairy there for them in the third quarter. Independence made some big plays, took the lead briefly in this football game. They answered right back. They made some plays in special teams. They maybe had gotten some gifts from Frisco Independence in terms of some of the decisions that were made there middle of the third quarter, if we're being totally honest here. But then they capitalized on them. They get that stop on the punt, on the fake punt, and the very first play. Here goes Brian Furch for 41 yards and a touchdown. And, yeah, give me the lead right back, he said. They were impressive with the way that they handled the clutch moments of this football game, and they put it on Independence in the second half.
No, and defensively, I think we opened up this game. We talked a lot about the offense. To our surprise, it was the defense that really set the tone on that fake punt. It was Alberto Chavoya that got that stop. They got the tackle. Yeah. I mean, if it were not for him, they do pick up that first down. I mean, obviously, we thought that maybe Coach Stokes saw something that told him that, look, we can pick this first down up. And if it were not for number 16, Chavoya, being over there and getting that stop, I'll tell you what, that's what made that look like such a gift. This defense played lights out. Cam Coleman, guys like that, they just kept responding when they needed to. Even when they got down, they were down by a point. This defense just kept believing. These guys kept getting the stops that they needed. It doesn't matter that the team will offer it up to you. You still have to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that you've been given, and they did exactly that.
One final look at the stats here before we wrap this up. 390 total yards for Fort Worth Arlington to 298 for Frisco Independence. Heights had a 17-12 edge in first downs. Independence had the edge in passing yards, 271 to 149, but the edge for Arlington Heights running the football today tells the story of this football game, because we told you off the top of the broadcast, Uday Uribe and Brian Furch, the two running backs on opposite sides in this game, were going to be the story of this game. One of them was, and Uribe was bottled up by this Arlington Heights defense. 241 to 27, the rushing edge for Arlington Heights today.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. You know what? I figured that it would be lopsided, but that is completely one-sided.
21 carries for 27 yards for Frisco Independence.
And Frisco Independence did one heck of a job of crowding the line of scrimmage and not allowing Uribe to get anything positive. They just started. They were relegated to trying to get him those swing passes out of the backfield, and it wasn't even until late in the fourth quarter that we saw that started to pay dividends. But as a ball carrier, he couldn't get anything going. But that running back tandem of Monroe and Furch, man, these guys are sledgehammers. It's really hard to deal with them. 31 carries. That is, we joked about them not being balanced. That's just an overcommitment to the running game.
Yeah. Let's give you one more look at the bracket as we look forward now for Arlington Heights as they move into the second round of the playoffs. They will face Canutillo in the second round after they beat Palo Duro last night. Abilene Wiley won against El Paso last night. I saw somebody say in the YouTube comments that Colleyville Heritage won their game tonight, so that's the foursome that moves on to the area round. Wiley and Heritage will play, and Arlington Heights and Canutillo. And who knows, perhaps it's a Arlington Heights Colleyville Heritage rematch. That was Arlington Heights' biggest win of the year prior to tonight anyway. I imagine Colleyville Heritage would love another shot at him as well. Arlington Heights, who won that game right here, 41-31, would not mind that matchup too much themselves either if that were the way things shake out for a regional semifinal. When it's all said and done, though, a 40-21 win for Arlington Heights to move on to the area round, the first playoff win for this program since 2014. Next week on Friday Night Football, the UIL playoffs continue right along with the area round. Which teams, what game, what day and time, all TBD, but we will announce our broadcast selection as soon as we know. What, Hagma Harrison?
I got nothing.
Hit me.
No, I got nothing. I can't wait to find out, man. Where do we go to next?
We will find out. It may be Tuesday or Wednesday before we officially know, but we will let you know as soon as we know where we will be for the area round of the UIL playoffs. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, Director Clay Marshall, photographers Graham Rayner and John Heath, digital coordinators Nick Blackhall and Paul Wedding, graphics coordinators Nick Blackhall and Emil Moralda, and the one and only Hagma Harrison alongside, I'm Mike Leslie. So long one more time from Farrington Field. The final score, 40-21, 5 Brian Furch touchdown runs, leading Arlington Heights to the win and into the second round of the playoffs. All our Friday Night Football broadcasts stream live and are archived in perpetuity on the WFAA YouTube channel and on the WFAA Plus app. This has been a proud presentation of WFAA TV.